Welcome to our final session of Out of the Abyss.
Yay. But like, we're gonna chase grass next time.
Yeah.
But next,
Let it be known.
Is over.
Arc 1?
Arc 1.
No, this is Arc 2.
Look, think of this as like the Gracklestug of this campaign. Just the whole...
Think of this as the ending of the first Lord of the Rings movie. You're like, really, that's where
this
it ends?
is
Who knows
all
what's coming?
about.
Yeah,
so
right.
much more. There's so much
when we last played,
It's just the dwarf song.
the final plans came to fruition, and you guys summoned all of the demon lords to a specific point, some miles outside of Menzo Baronzon.
Give me the elbow.
Through the portal opened by the talisman came many demons and their counterparts and enemies and subordinates, and you guys witnessed a hell of a fight in this arena. But it's not that
abyss of a fight.
Yep.
Big fight.
Yeah. Ultimately, to probably not really anyone's surprise, the king of all demons, the Demogorgon. What?
Prince. He's a prince.
King.
He's a prince.
He's a king now.
He's a prince.
I mean, I don't know, he graduated, I guess.
Wait, till we beat him, so that means us the king.
That's not
We
how
are
it works.
king. We
That's
are
not
this
how it's
king.
worked. He did not get married, so he has not been crowned king.
Okay.
He's a prince.
What do you think the other head is?
It's still him.
Actually, it's them.
Yeah.
That's true. It is.
Its
quite
pronouns would be they, them, plurally.
It's true.
Maybe they got married to each other.
There's a really solid
No,
joke
no, no.
about
Oh, they do not get along.
No, I was
How
gonna
they
say,
get along.
there's no
They get
chance.
along.
No,
How is
that-
the average
I was
spouse?
gonna say, that does not rule out a marriage.
Especially with one of the kings and queens.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
We solved it.
It was an
Amazing.
arranged marriage.
The mystery was.
I will still say that the Demon Lord Battle Royale was definitely one of the most things we've done in this campaign. That was so
That was
cool.
baller.
Sweet.
Super
Great
fun.
decision.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Doug. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Doug
Number
rules.
one fan. If we make underlaid shirts, I'm going to get you one.
Yes.
Faux show.
Buy our merch.
Also,
Our non-existent merch.
Make our merch.
Make our merch.
Purchase some.
Sell
And
it.
give us
We'll
some.
give you one free for all
You
of your
know
hard
what?
work.
if anybody else wants it,
True.
they can get it too.
Merch.
So, after quite the tumult, the Demogorgon was the one left standing. You bided your time for a little bit, giving Nero time to chug 4 potions, and waiting for a few lasting effects of the Demon Lords to dissipate
I would've
before
had it.
making your entrance.
I would have had a beer gut if my size didn't go up 2 categories. As such, my stomach went up 2 categories. It would have been a bloating scenario.
So you all, well, not you all, a couple of you emerged for the fight. Good old Lionel emerging
Lionel.
out of the rocks, all cool like.
Kool-Aid man. Like,
Oh yeah.
And after a hell of an ordeal that involved
yes.
a lot of, yeah, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Second time.
The Demogorgon crushed Lionel to a wooden mechanical pulp.
Bastard.
And
his name
launched many enormous pieces of rubble and debris.
Just one. Many times.
That's fair. That was 2. He grabbed another one at
He
some
grabbed
point.
the pillar.
He mixed it up one time.
And like one time he like literally threw it instead of telekinesis.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's been carrying these pillars around with him the entire night. Those are his,
I'm ready. These are his walking pillars.
Yeah,
this is his walker.
That's his walker.
This is Abyssal Walker.
He's pretty old, you know?
True. That's a big boy.
He punished your strategic decision to hang out in your all together in your little recessed, cozy
He
area.
already has an abyss walk.
Nightwalker.
Yeah, but what if it's night?
And eventually, Bryn emerged from the stairs. Nero went toe-to-toe with the Demogorgon for many rounds.
That's true. There's some major freaking Megazord fighting there.
So the
ultimate gun to metal happened.
the
It
HP
really
of the
did.
Demogorgon is line.
Love it.
Just like
Dang.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That includes the overall Demon Lord brawl though as well. Eventually,
In which I think he got hit like once.
the Demon Lord.
I know my acid spit thing.
Eventually, the Demogorgon
True.
slew Nero. I should just, you killed the Demogorgon. We're done. Let's just go home.
It couldn't be one of our sessions if we didn't make joke about everything you said.
Listen, as long as when we get to Antera, when you start the campaign, you're like, if you pull this bullshit with all these puns and stuff, I will kill you.
Alright, get ready with our second character.
Everybody's gonna have their first character preps. It's their cannon fodder. Yeah, we're gonna have all these characters.
This is
We're
John,
gonna
he's a
have all
human
these-
fighter.
Yeah,
He uses a broadsword.
And he follows my other character around. He's a real smart ass.
Yeah, we're gonna have all these characters prepared with Kevin, and then he's gonna be like, "All right, day one, what do
This
you
is
guys
John's
got?"
brother Jim.
Oh, I made John Nick.
It's not my character, it's his parrot. It's like I can't control that. Like
That'd be good. I don't even know where I am at this
Anyways,
point.
Nero slew the Demogorgon.
No,
No.
Nero was
Nero was slain by the Demogorgon.
I mean,
I
kind of.
like this version of like Yormik trying to tell the story of what happened.
Look, I
And
used
being
my wish
corrected.
spell to retcon
We go to a
this.
tavern and Bryn's like, Yormik, you tell the story. This time it's just playing music. Yormik telling him.
I just like miss a note every time he gets
It gets something
feature.
wrong. It's just like
It's like Guitar
resounding and then he corrects himself every time there's a wrong note. He's like, Nero slew the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon slew Nero. Dun, 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 dun.
So the Demogorgon slew Nero.
Demogorgon slew
say.
Nero,
Yep.
Allegedly.
and in her peerless infinite wisdom, Salune decided to pull him inside his own moon
Honey, I
blade.
Shrunk the Kids.
I didn't imprison my soul in a sword.
And
Not supposed to turn
With-
it up that high.
Yormik, near the brink of death, Vera as well, resisting Grazt's urge to go and grab the wand of Orcus, Bryn sprinted out and grabbed the blade now known as the Lunamaris. Finding that the spirit of his friend was still inside the Lunamaris, cast haste on Bryn, cast his vow of enmity upon the Demogorgon,
For the second
and
time.
never thought I could do this twice.
Sword
a day.
form.
Twice in a day. No way.
And
That's metal.
with one final massive upward / critical hit, sundered the corporeal form of the Demogorgon, which collapsed in a heap on the ground. You regrouped with your allies in your recessed defensive area, and said a quick farewell to Grest, who then disappeared, and we
You did try and
Left it.
counterspell.
I super
You
hard
failed.
tried to counterspell. I think I tried to banish him too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
you
did
did.
try to banish him.
You tried to
You
banish
did,
Because
him.
I
tried
had
something
seen
where-
invisibility. I saw him.
Yep.
He
Tried
was in
something
the corner,
where
he
he
like
was like,
subtle banished. or
don't
something.
do that again.
and I was like, "Try me," and then
And then
he didn't. He ran away.
So we pick up today in the immediate aftermath of your battle.
I tech Nero.
I mean, good luck. I'm a sword right now.
I just roll dice. It's something.
Vanilla JS.
You got
Wait, actually,
the
Yeah.
music. Is not going.
it's not just HTML.
It is just
Some music.
Musiker.
Not you chipmunks.
Sonos.
How do we actually love the idea that you like actually did like document.write maybe
I'm
on
gonna
load.
change it later.
Just like the most, just make it nonsense complicated.
Even more like
Somebody's plugging
Even
my
worse than
site
that.
in the chat. I'm so sorry.
that is
You're gonna want
isjacegood.com.
to visit that.
You might want to
You're
click
gonna
on
want
it.
to click it.
Is it always no?
No.
It's always you. And that's it.
Always no. It's just.
Have you ever seen a
Yes.
Hello World page?
It's that.
Well,
Gotcha.
how about the second iteration where you use like an H1 tag?
Except there's no body tag. It's literally an H1 tag with the word yes in it.
Yes.
It's an
It's
HTML
arguably
page.
it's simpler than Hello World.
Right. This is.
Oh, there's
the
no
best
argument. It's definitely simpler.
Bryn, do you still have that dog?
Didn't that get used recently?
We
No.
picked it back up.
Not
It was in
today,
the
no.
maze.
In the maze, he tried
And
to
he
use
spun
it.
around like a magnet or a compass trying to
Okay,
find north.
I was thinking it was okay.
Don't
Yeah.
take his dog away.
I have it here.
Figure out where that bastard went.
Don't you want to maybe
I think we need to
rest in
regroup.
Yeah.
Maybe figure out what to do with Nero.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good. You
We
only you hear that in your head.
He might want to stay the sword
So
though.
wait, so Nero is the sword?
Suddenly, I've decided you are no longer a worthy
I saw
wielder.
the
Can
He
I-
also has decided I am a worthy.
It feels like it would probably be the best if I.
Good
wielded
luck
Nero.
critting on 18s.
Okay, fine. He wants to come out of the sword, and I want to hit things
So
harder.
Nero is in the sword then.
It's
Yeah.
more like I am the sword right now.
Yeah, I think Salune put him here as a timeout because he didn't defeat the Demogorgon.
Not
I feel like that's pretty rude.
But didn't he though?
On the plus side, I'm currently not dead.
Technically, he is
Am
the
I
one
dead?
that.
I feel like I'm dead.
So
Is he dead?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
actually dead.
So I'm asking. I don't know. You,
I
I'm talking to
I mean,
you.
he's
You're
talking to you.
I'm asking
I'm
you.
ignoring
Talking-
him.
or I'm crazy. I might be crazy. There was Phaserus.
What are we gonna do with that? I'm gonna point at the
Me?
stick of Orcus.
Oh, swing me at it so I
Stick
can have a
Orcus?
battle of wills against
We're
it.
gonna. I don't know. Vera-
Immediately something that I didn't specifically think about. You guys attempted.
The sentient blade attacking the sentient staff.
What
of
if I pick up
Orcus.
both?
Here's the deal. Wait, we could figure
A
out
battle
so
of
many
wills.
things.
I just
We-
dual wield
we
the
could
wand of
put
Orcus and the
Nero in the
Luna
bag of
Maris,
holding.
just like.
After we
Dual
cast
wield a
light on
great
it,
sword and
figure
probably
out-
I don't know what I'm
great
gonna do.
staff.
Great club.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And now I'm gonna go attack Benzo
Bryn's like, I got this.
good.
Guys, we can have our answers to all our questions. We cast darkness on Nero as the sword and put it in a bag of holding. He can tell us what happens
Oh, you're right.
in the bag.
This
He
could be
dies
our
of not
moment.
being able to breathe.
He's a sword. He's a sword. He didn't breathe.
Crazy.
Wait,
Nero, make a death save.
I'll only message you on the sword. Is it breathing?
you pull it out and it's just rusting for some reason. Huh.
It's
got
like
gills.
what's the one from Soul Eater?
Oh, I don't know.
I forget what it's called. Ragnarok. It's just like sword just has a mouth and like has this like scream
Oh,
and
yeah.
shatters other
Yeah.
weapons and stuff. He's just like no. He's shoved in a bag.
Are we?
We need to do something. I'm gonna look at Vera or Ashara.
I don't trust touching it right
I don't think we look. The one demon that survived all of this really wanted me to pick it up,
now. Right.
and that makes me think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, probably. It's whatever. Picking it up would sort of
Terrible idea.
I'm very injured. I feel like you could probably dispose of me if something bad happened.
I
There's a
think
random person who just walked up and left something on your porch.
No, they're
Nope, now they're
standing
waiting
out
for
there.
you.
I think I could dispose of you before
Ding
you touch
dong.
it.
Be right back. Or mute.
We'll be right back.
Back.
And we're back
Woo!
to Iowa.
There we go. So I'm telling you, I'm so close to death that if something went wrong, you just kill me. Probably all right.
Nope.
We gotta shrink it though.
Nope.
We're just gonna leave it here.
So I'm not gonna actually. I don't want to kill you.
Well,
I don't know that killing you and bringing you back to life takes a demon lord out of your
that's
head.
a good point.
Okay. How? I know magic items tend to shrink when we pick them up, but I want to avoid exactly that. How big is it right now?
I want to almost pick it up so it shrinks.
It is.
Exactly.
Let me.
Could we get into a bag of holding without touching it?
Can we talk about how this... I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him.
No.
You can't hear me.
Can
we talk about how this...
I would be anything you want to relay. I would relay.
This wand or cudgel of Orcus...
It's like an oversized mace.
That this
A
mace
large mace.
of Orcus
Might
is
be a bag of holding.
like absolutely one of a kind. This is, I mean, how many times, they're not selling Orcus's wand at the general store any time of the
Welcome
week.
to Harry Potter world. We have Wands of Orcus here.
It is absolutely rare and valuable. I don't know that it's...
I'm saying this is a relic of a demon lord, so
Right.
we definitely don't
It's like a
touch
legendary
it.
artifact.
Yeah, we
I'm gonna
don't
be honest,
leave
I
it.
feel like
We
if
don't leave it,
This-
and we don't touch it.
If Nero was
but we
here, I think
get
he'd
it.
want me to have it.
This is
He
like,
really
Well,
doesn't.
this
I'm
is-
pretty
I mean,
sure I'll get to crit on
Grast
15s if
wanted
you
to
try
kill
get
the
it.
Demogorgon too, though, so like it wouldn't necessarily. How does you picking up the wand help Grast?
Is this Ashara
Yes.
trying to convince me to pick up the demon
Just
wand?
making conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sold. That's fine. I'm
You're about to be desold.
That's fine. I'll walk over to it. I'm gonna approach it. Do I feel anything ominous emanating off of it?
How close are you getting to
You
it?
are
I'm just
in.
gonna walk to it.
You were in a room full of ichor and filth
I knew I
and
should
death.
I should have a Legion Lore spell.
Can we at least short rest before you walk over to it?
Guys, let me
Fine.
in at the door.
Take an hour.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Short
Ed?
rest.
I want my bardic inspirations back. Thank
It's
you.
very reasonable.
This is
We're
how
gonna
the
short
next
rest.
Orcus is chosen.
That's
A bunch of fools standing around the relic.
Strange women
This
lying
is-
in ponds.
this is-
street and swords. This is
No basis for government.
short rest. Short rest.
yep.
Short rest.
All right.
This is one of those artifacts that's like you have to bring to some obscure mountain and throw it in
Level max
to
15.
destroy it.
15d6.
Yeah, can we can just ride eagles there though, right?
Yeah, to mount
I would
Against the
be
rules?
surprised if the Wand of Orcus could be destroyed at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's what everybody said
Hasn't
about
had
the
me
demon
try to
lords too.
counterspell it yet.
True.
That's what everybody said about the demon lords. This is just a stick.
Holy smokes!
Level 15.
While you guys short rest, Ishara will cast a 3rd level prayer of healing.
Don't need it.
And I'm out of the sword. Insane.
Healed 88 points of damage on short rest dice.
I don't want. I make sure you're doesn't get to heal in case he's my control. Okay.
Just doesn't get the heal.
Just like we just keep giving him things to do so he can't rest.
Walk over there.
You guys all get 15 HP.
Hey, can you look around really carefully?
UFO picks up the
How much are we get?
Can you sneak? Just
Oh,
like be
I
really
get
careful.
15.
Absolutely.
Just can you like juggle
I think I'm gonna
Just make
go
you
back.
do random skill
I have
checks.
like no spells left.
All I'm saying is, from Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, UFO picks up the wand. It's not the strangest thing.
True. It could
That
happen.
didn't rhyme though.
I did shoot one down.
You did.
Yep.
All right.
With a laser gun.
I did.
That is canonically true.
Yep.
So, you've no problem getting through your short rest. You can use.
Use all my hit die.
Yeah, I think Ashar is going to do that too.
Might as well. What are you saving them for?
So I did as well.
Where's the?
I'm gonna
Short
send
rest.
Davra using my sending stone.
Oh,
Alright,
Sups up, Davra.
I'm going to I'm going to try to stop Yormik from getting to the wand and
I'm gonna go to the wall.
take
Oh, dude. Just animate an object. Have that
some
object
like
pick
some
up the
my
wand
like
and
extra
put it in.
clothes and just like sort of try to bundle the wand. I don't know if it shrinks as I do so.
At least hold Miro while you're doing this.
So you're taking extra cloaks and robes and stuff.
No.
No,
You can't have both. then.
Sorry.
I need one.
I'm gonna sheath it and like conspicuously like fiddle with the shadow sword for
Yeah.
a little bit too, and then be like, oh, that's right, I don't have Dawnbringer anymore. And then
Just
Yeah.
a debate club going on just in your head.
I'm gonna take the just like extra clothes, and I'm gonna sort of like tie the clothes to it to try to just bundle it up.
Did you see Doug's
We have Poaflis. We all have Poaflis.
No, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure we
yeah, we
sold
do.
every one of those.
I don't think we did.
I-
We kept them specifically because we thought we might stealth in here, and it was gonna be like 50. We didn't sell them.
You can have my cloak of protection for
I
this.
don't think you sold them.
Cool.
If Kevin doesn't think we
Yeah,
sold them,
so
we must
cloak.
not have.
But yeah, just taking stuff, bundling it up with some rope.
Do you tell me you're doing this?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on you just in case.
Yeah.
Something goes sideways.
I'm gonna say, hey Bryn, maybe you shouldn't be the one to pick it up, period. Somebody else could do what you're doing, given the fact that you're wielding me,
That's true. I just don't want Yormik.
while Vera.
Vero, do you want to
To what?
bundle up the staff?
I probably have the best chance of getting away with it.
Or Ashara. Ashara would probably have the highest.
Nah, I'd rather have Ashara be somebody who can help someone who gets
Fair.
owned.
Okay. So we'll let Vero do it.
Fine. It's just a stick.
It's a mace.
Stick.
I mean, I will have stick versus stick combat with it if you
I'm
want.
very excited about it.
Just
Pat-
put us
pat
both
that.
on the ground, I'll take it down.
So who's grabbing it?
Me, but I will do the bundling trick. And before that, I'll even try Mage Hand, thinking that there's no way this is gonna.
It is definitely too heavy for Mage Hand.
You both cast
It was
Mage.
worth a shot.
I cast Mage 2 hands.
Mage deadlift.
Yeah.
Wait, Bryn, what if you animated an object and got the object to pick it up, and then
Just-
the
just
object
somebody
put it
grab
into
it.
the bag?
It's just,
Yeah.
Oh, I could actually do
we
that.
are belaboring this. It's only
I'm
gonna
just
shrink
saying,
if
and
somebody
then
picks it up.
if the object is a problem, you just stop
Only shrink
concentrating
if
on
we pick
it.
it up. That's how every item we've ever come across works.
I think
Somebody
this
pick
is
it up.
fine.
I'll pick it up with
Yeah.
the bundle of clothes thing that he was
Okay.
describing.
Please make a Constitution saving.
No way.
Well, not bad, those.
I have +8.
I have +10.
Okay. I also have +8.
Look, the only one
Is-
stopping you from picking it up
is
was you, Yormik.
this-
No, it was Bryn. Bryn's stuff.
Yeah, I
spell?
specifically Bryn.
Am I
Is this
being?
a spell?
It is not a spell.
Are you being?
It is
poisoned?
definitely a magical effect.
Yeah, I'll get advantage on
Are you being charmed?
those if it's a
Oh,
spell.
could I, before she goes to pick it up, can I inspire her?
What'd you get?
Natural one.
Yay!
See what your inspiration gives
Not
you.
yay.
What is it?
Oh,
A 12,
That's
right?
what it's saying. It's a-
Oh,
He-
oh yeah. Do we
it's a
level
12.
up after short rest?
That's not terrible.
With a natural one.
+9. It's a 20.
I'm by the sword.
A
I love it.
That's still a 20.
Still a 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so ridiculous.
With a natural, I got 20.
We're fine.
Nope.
Oh!
No, this is a
Maybe
success.
I was gonna say, it
Oh,
feels like I
good.
would have been way worse otherwise.
Wow. Thank God for that inspiration.
You take 34 points of necrotic damage.
Alright.
Absorb element necrotic.
I can't do that.
Necrot.
And then I need you to roll.
Excuse me. It's almost like a demon lord was holding this weapon. Why are there so many?
I need you to roll 10 D10.
What?
10d10.
I heard him. I just didn't like what I heard.
That's 10 of them.
You natural one,
Is there
all
another
of them,
vampire
you
D10
become
somebody?
Orcus.
I have some D10s.
Or
if you
natural
need
10, all of
D10s.
them. I don't know.
Someone roll twice.
I don't know how many you need.
I see one more.
Alright.
Wow. Yeah, we
You didn't want your other two.
Yep.
Are big numbers good?
Holy smokes!
Because that's a
10,
that's a
20.
45 on the
Wow.
first line.
Cool.
Fuck.
That was like the lowest was a 7. That's cocked right there.
I only saw 2 and they were both 10s.
45, 49, 51, 53, 61, 71.
71.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Keep back to. That was the best rolling I've ever
It
done.
took,
Yeah.
it
Can
took
you
90
roll-
to become Orcus.
Can you roll 2d4 for me as well?
Oh boy.
Only half these dice matter.
Yep. How did you cock a D4? That's
Just
impressive.
that good. 2.
2.
2 total.
That was It's honestly impressive that he cocked a D4.
There's one.
that's impressive. So you watch Vera pick up this. It's huge. I mean, she's small. It's a really, really large thing. And as she grabs it, you just like this greenish glow happens, and you like watch her face age,
Oh,
and she
God.
becomes more thin.
You're
you
71
age
years.
71 years.
Holy fuck!
And you lose just immediately just like 10 pounds. As you're
Holy
just
crap.
picking this up,
If only I was there,
you-
it would have been nothing. Drop in the bucket.
it just is such a toll on your life force. But your charisma increases by 2 to a maximum of 24.
Bruh! That's great.
You are immune to being charmed or frightened.
While holding it or
And
just
now
period?
you, while holding it. So when you pick it up, it's sort of like it attunes to you.
Ah.
And you have resistance to necrotic damage.
Orcus 2.
Also, while attuned and holding it, you deal 1d6 necrotic damage to any plant that you touch that isn't a creature.
Okay.
Things die.
So as you just walk around, plants just die around
He
you.
has to touch the plant, but yeah.
Walk
I mean-
around barefoot.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
hobbit.
Step on Orm, he goes, my bad. Yeah. And that was a success on the save.
Why did it roll so
Now,
well?
most of that was going to happen regardless. But if you had failed the save, you wouldn't have just taken necrotic damage.
I mean, this is a session to find out.
You can hand it to Yormik if you want to try
Well,
and push the
Good
luck.
news is that
And that was
I'm not
with it
dead
being
from old
bound
age.
up, wrapped up.
because I lived that
Yes.
long, apparently.
Oh my
On
god.
average.
Oh, you're good. You got 100 more
You
years.
got 100 years left in me. It's fine.
Are you?
It was a good call.
Well,
Yormik being like, oh man, Bryn was really looking out for me on this one. Oh, wow.
I'm alive and feeling. My knees are killing me.
It's probably from
It's
deadlifting
like,
that wand.
Get it?
It's
Get it?
Probably
That's
from
good.
deadlifting that wand.
Oh god.
Your form was awful on it. You
Was
should have
terrible.
stuck your
But-
butt out more.
I'm me? I mean, I think.
That's what Orcus would say.
That's exactly.
That's probably not what Orcus would say. Orcus would probably just go.
Did you mind
make
blank
zombies.
yourself?
No,
I might make Nero.
I mean, the sword's definitely not possessed.
Staff.
Well, by non-Nero entities.
And it's, do I know all the properties it has? After
Yeah, you can look it up if you want. It's got some crazy shit. So it has. I have a tally on this.
Well, I was just mostly asking about its passive abilities first.
The passive ability is +2 to your charisma. While you have it, it is a magic mace, a +3 magic mace that when you heal something deals an extra 2d12 necrotic on hit.
When you heal something?
That's what he said.
When you hit something.
You said heal, though.
Oh.
When you heal something,
I was like,
you heard it.
Okay.
Negative heal.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Bonus action healing word. You get
So if you multiply
6 hit points and take.
You have a +3 to your armor class while
Wow,
holding the
that's
wand.
cool.
Oh boy, this thing is just popping off.
And I swear I had a tally of the charges used of this wand.
I'm not gonna lie, this thing's pretty awesome if it wasn't for the whole killing me thing.
Well, the question is,
I mean, it didn't kill you as much as it probably would have killed me.
Does it talk to you?
True.
try talking to it.
Yeah, does it
It
speak?
hasn't talked to me yet.
Well, you didn't say hello.
Orcus!
It currently has 3 charges. And 3 charges is enough to cast Finger of Death.
Yes. Do it.
Power word kill is 4 charges.
Where is Grazed? I know he uses
He's not currently in here right now. He did not. He smoked you on the roll.
I'm aware.
Yeah, this thing is, I mean, in the hands of any competent individual, it would be scary.
Good thing it's in
Luckily, I'm not good with maces, so. But it does have a few latent passive abilities plus some nasty spells. If
And it's not talking to you?
not, I'm gonna pick up like it's a mic. Wand of Orcus, are you there? Mace of Orcus, Mr. Staff of Orcus.
Whose skull is on
Mrs.
this
Staff
thing
of
anyways?
Orcus. Miss Staff. I'm not trying to assume anything here.
Steven.
Whose skull is on this anyways?
It hasn't responded, so I don't. It's either biding its time or it's not intelligent.
It just starts.
Seems like
moving
a
when it
really
talks.
stupid stick.
Who are you
Well,
to wield me?
Never mind. There it is.
Maybe just don't. Maybe just don't.
Astral
well,
Sea.
just tell it you're Orcus.
Do it. Yeah.
Maybe just don't talk to it.
Tell it you're
Nero
Orcus.
doesn't have any good ideas.
Give me Nero. I feel like we'd have more thoughts in common.
This reminds me of the Who's Line, like the sit, stand, and like bend over game where like somebody always has to be standing, and some person like hunched over, but you guys are just passing the weapons around to talk to different disembodied voices and.
Ask it how Gracklstug's doing.
Maybe I just don't talk to the magical
Yeah,
stick.
maybe you just don't talk to the magical stick.
Just ask
We
it
can
what's-
go look at Gracklstug.
You're already touching it. What else is it gonna do?
Can you get me out of here?
Yeah, we should try to get. I don't think Nero wants to be the sword anymore.
We could hit the sword with the stick.
I can't hit Yormik. I mean, technically,
You can.
You could. No, you could.
I'm.
With me, but
You can hit him.
I mean,
I can help.
Who's he want to hit?
This is having in Bryn's head. You don't know this. He's not projecting.
Are you not
this.
I
saying
probably
that
would
out
have said
loud?
that out loud.
I
I
was
would be like
Oh,
think
that's
most of it, and then be like, "Who do you want to hit?"
I feel like
You can
everybody
hit
should know.
Look. You helped me. I'm here to help you.
What
I
about
wanna
with the
make sure-
blunt end? The pommel. Maybe just a nice pommel to the back of the head.
Shadow, aren't you supposed to stop bullying or something? I don't know, you're a cleric.
What in the
All
world
right,
is he
let's.
talking about?
I'm gonna bang Yormik on the
You
back of
should
the
get
head.
that into the bag of holding as
And-
quickly as you can manage.
Yeah, let's
Pass it.
toss that away.
Do you really want to look like I just happened to me?
How much life do you have ahead of you?
No, to be fair though,
I'm hoping this can be fixed.
That happened to Nero and I, and we went to the Zwerfneblin.
No, we did not age.
Yes, we did. I did.
Oh, maybe you did.
One of you
For sure
did.
did. Yeah.
Oh,
we
you
went
did.
to the thing.
I was gone, like, for that session.
Oh,
and
right,
came back
you
and you were
aged.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't age.
He was playing rock music, and then the next session we did the rock music thing.
Oh, that's right. The ghost came down.
Yeah.
I was fine, and you aged 10 years.
Correct. So
because
she,
of course you're victim.
she can probably fix you, maybe. I don't know.
The only reason I'm not panicking that I just lost like a solid fifth of my lifespan is that I'm hoping it can be reversed.
Right. The stress of this fight probably did that already.
Less than what just happened, but yes. A few years for sure.
Alright. Into the astral sea with the big stick.
Yeah.
smaller stick now.
Assuming that I can get rid of it.
I try.
You were able to put it into
Okay. Okay.
Wait,
Barely.
cast darkness on it first.
I don't have that spell.
Doing that with
Alright.
Nero.
Well, but after she's holding it, wouldn't it?
I mean, somewhat. It's still very large. It doesn't fully shrink down to like rinky-dink,
Yeah.
like gnome-sized one of Orcus.
Well, I'm going to recommend that when we want to get that out, we just dump the bag.
I'm very excited
Well-
for everything else that's gonna fall out of there.
Well, we can pull
Well,
out
I
everything
wonder
else
if
that we know.
she-
That's fair.
Like,
But there might be some
I
we
don't
don't
know
know.
if I
We did find
pick it
that
up again,
bag.
will it happen again? I don't know.
Almost
Just
immediately exploding it.
Ishara's gonna fix her. It's fine.
yeah, but I don't
No,
know
that
if
was the
at
handicap
this
or
point you can
something.
just pick it up again and like you're already
It happened
Orcus
once.
is
Yeah, maybe.
like
Not
little gnome Orcus.
all magical aging can be undone.
Hey, you might be kind of screwed. So
Yeah, I'm.
It's okay. You look good with a little.
Well, you
It's
know,
alright, I hear
little
Demon Lord
pepper.
aging
You know,
is the kind
after we
you can
kill,
reverse.
after we cut down grass, maybe I'll take the fish spell and I'll fix everything.
There you go.
I hope that works.
All right.
Well, gents, what's the plan?
Well, we have
We're
to
getting
go
out
give
of here.
shit to the people who were supposed to be watching that gem.
True.
Like, all right, we're ready to get rid of the demon. Show it to us so we can banish it. And they're like, so awkward story, we lost it, and we just give them so much hell for it. So much.
Oh,
so much
use
evidence.
it to force them to get me out of here.
right.
Great. Yeah.
We left that with
I know.
Nice.
with your people.
Exactly. We're gonna make them
I'm
feel
joking.
real bad.
I mean, it seems like a great opportunity for a practical joke.
I would agree.
It does.
Which we're really in need of at this point.
I could really use a good
Well,
laugh.
we're really in need of being celebrated for taking down. Let's just say we took down all of the demon
Yes.
lords.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Ishara,
yeah.
sorry.
Why sorry?
What? No. Oh, no, not that.
She was here too.
Anyway.
She kept you from dying.
Sure.
But so what?
Do you know how we would separate a soul from a sword? Shara, any ideas?
It's a great question. Don't tell Yomek I said that.
That is magic beyond anything that I am currently capable.
What's the question? How do we separate a soul from a sword?
We can ask. What's the guy's name?
Quarian.
Secretary?
No,
Quarian. He runs WoW. Or I
Is
mean, there's
there-
the High Priestess.
I was
There's
thinking
Zara.
the drow that we've been.
Vizarin?
Vizarin.
He's like mega oofed though, because he took like quadruple exhaustion. To
Also, he's going to be mega
Snap the
unhappy
infinity
when he
ball.
finds out that this happened not in.
We should go kill him right now before
I'm
he gets his
still a
power
sword.
back. That's, yeah, but
But we don't like. We have no issue with
he's
him.
gonna kill us if he finds out that Benzo Baron's on.
We just killed demon lords. What's he gonna do?
He's gonna be mad that he has to do
he
this.
just-
Oh, it's like, oh, these guys.
If he was gonna kill us, he would have killed the demon lords.
No, he was gonna use us to kill the demon lords and Benzo Baron's on. And
Right.
then we were gonna part as allies, but now we screw up his entire plan. He's probably behind this whole thing from the
But
beginning.
if he was stronger than us, he would have just fought the demon lords and killed them.
Right, no, he's probably on his way. You know what? We should kill him now while he's weakest.
Nah.
I like his intern
We can
better.
go back. We can go back
Whilst
to.
you all angrily discuss, not angrily discuss,
Very.
Ishara goes ahead and grabs the three of you and casts Word of Recall,
Thanks.
taking you back out of the Underdark
This is so
I dropped the sword.
Just leave it behind.
Oh
no! Oh, dang it! I knew I forgot something.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to holding the extra sword.
Well, really, unfortunately for some future adventure party, I get to decide who's a worthy wielder. So I could just be a default magic greatsword.
+0 magical sword.
Yeah.
And I'd probably be bitter. You'd probably be bitter too after what if he just left you here.
Sure.
Are you a bard?
I hate bards.
We've gone full circle.
No,
I hate the Church of Selune. Just end it with I hate bards.
I hate balls.
No, don't worry. I'm a source who specializes in fire.
Where does
It's even worse.
where does Word of Recall take us?
To the Selune Temple in Waterdeep.
Oh, perfect. I'm just saying, it turns out we need that gem to stop the rest of the demon lords from coming to Earth.
Right, so it's the only thing that's total. That's the only thing that's keeping.
The question is, how long does the Shar let that go on?
Not very long.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Not
One
with
time.
the High Priestess.
Yeah.
Just
She maybe tolerates it if you tell one of the lower level clerics or priestesses or paladins that
Banish Shard.
are the first to
to She tries to counter it, I counter her.
I want a whole minute.
Yep.
A whole minute of fucking with
I've got
High
at
Priestess.
least another banish.
But where did Ashara go? That's not important right now.
Don't worry about it.
She was back.
She's on her way. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So you are back in Waterdeep, inside the familiar interior of the Temple of Selune.
We'll find the high priestess. Priestess?
Mm-hmm. Lashana Cardanel.
Shauna, have you guys been watching the gem that we left?
Totally.
It's her only job as High Priestess. She watches the gem. Personally.
Yes, it has been under guard in a magically fortified sanctum.
We have successfully summoned and banished the demon lords. We've removed them from the material plane. If you need proof, you can go look. You can go look at the gem. It won't be there.
So you were successful. She just gets a smile on her face, which you have not seen before.
Check one year.
And she...
Dang it, what's it look like? I haven't seen that.
I describe it in detail mentally.
Okay.
She heads...
picture.
She heads out.
20 feet of dark vision.
Heads out of the chamber for the moment. And
Cast darkness.
and returns just a few minutes later. My relief is beyond words. Did Nero not survive the ordeal?
Well, it really, that's a philosophical question. It brings into the concept of what is life and living and survival.
I guess that is the fastest way to handle it.
Yeah. I'll pull out the Lunamaris, and he has been ascended or imprisoned, I guess, depending on your perspective, in this sword, and we need a way to get him out.
She walks over and takes the blade from you.
I hesitate for a second. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Bring it back.
I'm not just gonna hand them over.
In the moment where you hesitate, she just quickly just says, "I would not take him from you."
I need to check with him.
Is this cool? All right, cool.
Consent? Okay.
And she holds the Lunamaris and looks it over. And in a brief mental conversation with you, she admits that she's not able to free you from the blade. However, there might be someone that she can, someone else who can help.
I'm right here, it's fine.
The two people that I would speak to about this would be either Vajra Blackstaff or Mayor Zeltune, the former head of the Wizarding Order of Magists and Protectors.
That person.
Do you have contact with Mayor?
From time to time. We used to have we had a good working relationship when she was in charge.
An old friend of our friend Vera over here, who's been looking for her.
Huh. She hands the Lunamars back to Fine then, fix them yourself. Shit. No, I'm just kidding. And then, that was in her head to Nero.
Yeah.
But she aloud says to you all, the only two people I know who might be able to help you are the Blackstaff or Mayor Zeltune.
Thankfully, we just saved the entire world, so I feel like we could probably get a meeting with one of them.
Some strings.
Yeah, but we have to convince them. I guess we do have kind of a...
We could just show them the stick.
You
We haven't mentioned the stick yet?
You will have our the temple's backing and reassurances of your success to vanquish all the demon lords. Like that is an impressive feat.
Thank you.
Yeah, if that's not impressive, I don't know if that's what counts.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Sucks to suck.
I like to think that we had a conversation before we left the cave where we're like, we'll tell them they're all gone, we'll deal with grass before anybody knows, and then
we're just gonna
every demon
we
lord.
banished the demon lords. We don't need to be specific about how many we fought, about percent complete. Maybe we
their
rounded
save.
up.
yeah.
Banishment was cast on all of the alive demon lords at the end of this.
Dude,
And then they were all gone.
Right, yeah.
few things would be funnier though than Grass going to Menzo Baronzon and taking control of the matriarchy.
Incredible.
Now that would be funny.
Oh my gosh. We'll figure that out. That's our epic level multi-step.
Oh man.
Do you have any anti-aging cream or something?
Tell me about your skincare routine. I'm just so curious.
I'm guessing a shark could probably maybe do it too, but I was recently afflicted with I seem to have rapidly gained a large number of years of my life. Put it another way.
Ishara, when you say that, Ishara chimes in and says, High Priestess, we are in possession of Orcus's wand. And
I don't want to say it.
you see Lashana's eyes at this point. You saw her smile for the first time when you told her of your success, and this is not a good look. Grave concern. You are fortunate to be alive after an encounter with such an artifact.
It's harder than that to take me down.
Indeed. You are as mighty as any among your number.
I know how to take a beating. Unfortunately.
You have some experience.
I am.
Demogorgon, for future notes, the Demogorgon is very fond of throwing boulders. And I would take measures to prevent such things, should anyone ever need to fight them again. We should really write that down.
Arguably,
Another cleric just chimes in. You could just spread out though, because like rocks don't go in like a lot of directions.
You weren't
there.
I
there, man.
simultaneously learn and cast silence.
You know what? Let's hit this guy.
Throw him the wand of Orcus. Throw him the wand of Orcus.
Subtle
Get him.
spell.
Hey, catch! Ha! You're dead now. Very practical joke, guys.
Telekinesis.
If you would produce the artifact, we can move. I'm afraid this is clearly these magics are beyond what our vault might have been.
It's not on this plane. It's in an extra dimensional
Yeah, it's
space.
fine.
So we're okay right now.
Yeah, we got it.
But
Until someone in the astral sea finds it.
Right. Or we find us somebody who's
So,
interested
like-
in buying it.
I mean, you know, we'd haggle with them, but like I bet we could get like water deep for it.
I know a rich couple in the castle district that
Be interested. Additionally,
how many
in
lizards?
purely hypothetically speaking, the sword that is now Nero, do you think like worth more or less than the Dawn Blade to an interested buyer?
Gotta be more.
Has to
Just
be
curious.
It
Purely
doesn't.
hypothetical.
Dawn
Speaking
Blade-
as someone that's wielded both, a lot
More.
more.
Okay. Yeah. So we just buy like
Assuming you're worthy.
many boats.
we could afford like a villa.
How many lizards could
We could visit Nero.
We
and
could
hang
afford
up
a
at
village.
bar. Yeah, exactly. Just saying, like we could. Okay, we'll figure it out later. But yeah, no, we're good with the stick.
We could start a kingdom.
I think we got the stick.
So,
I'll sell the world for a kingdom for sure.
How do you propose we deal with the stick of Orcus, as they say?
That would be
That
campaign.
No.
bag is
Start a kingdom.
fine for now, but
This is my
perhaps we put
everything the light doesn't.
the bag itself under magical guard.
We have a lot of stuff in that
There's
bag.
so much stuff in the bag.
You may retain your personal belongings. and
Right.
But we need
You
It's
will
just-
be,
it's
you will
gonna
be
make a mess.
compensated for the bag.
Yeah, I'm just
Give me a portable
I'm
hole.
just speaking logistics out loud.
Also trying to say, like,
yeah,
what's
so much
better
better.
magical protection than the people who just defeated all of the demon lords at the same time?
Probably an organization that has people.
Well,
that will
yeah, we
die
don't want to do
eventually.
this all the time.
No,
I want to go.
carry it with us.
I want to go start a kingdom.
Through. Okay, fine, they can have it.
I mean, how hard?
We're not even gonna try to sell it. Not even like a little bit.
I mean, you can go try to sell it. Go try to sell it.
All right, fine. I'm gonna keep it in mind. I'm just gonna gather a list of clients.
Go ahead. No,
Alright.
right now. We'll wait.
No, that would take a very long time to figure out.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
You can leave and do
Give
that.
them the bag.
So,
It's fine. Give them the bag.
We'll give them the.
Lashana, you produce the bag. You remove any important items that you needed to put elsewhere.
We leave the alkaline eyes and tentacles, so that anybody.
Those are disgusting.
If
ichor
anybody turns it back upside down, it's just the wand comes out and.
We're like, wow,
Love
that
it.
wand is just full of death.
It was
Yeah.
trapped.
soup. Amazing.
Oh, no.
So you retain your possessions, and Lashana herself takes the bag into the vault. She returns to you and says, if you
Make your own cinnamons.
would like, I can arrange the meeting with the Blackstaff or with Mayor. I leave it up to you.
Both, probably.
I would like to see Nair for other reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, both or mayor, I suppose.
I
Then
believe
that's
she has returned to the tower in the
natural.
time since.
Alright. Yeah, I left her a letter, but I didn't know if
Was
she
it-
back.
Was it a nice letter?
Well, you should probably left her more than one if you wanted to convey something.
Just one
I just
big
start
letter
chuckling.
U.
I just start laughing.
F to pay respects.
My letters aren't that bad. You laugh at me.
It's
Why
you
can't
have to
read?
read there.
I what?
What?
I am here.
No, you had to be here.
Is Nina making fun of me?
I would never.
He would never.
My
is that what
friends.
you said, or is that what you're... I don't like this.
Alright, hold on. Let's put this.
For generations, the Temple of Selune will make it known how the Underlight rid the world of the scourge of the Demon Lords. We cannot begin to thank you for this extraordinary deed. Hopefully, calling in some favors to amend Nero Amaris' current form will be a start.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, especially because the Temple of Selune gets a mad rep for this. We had 2 members of this party. I'm just saying. Selune on the top, the Billboard charts of gods, just fired up.
He says he's honored to be able to help Selune's reputation in the world.
Beautiful and scene. She arranges the audience for you. So, Mayor first, or both, or the Black Staff, up to you guys.
Both.
Mayor first.
Sure, Mayor first.
It's your
Do we pass the secretary's desk away? Or...
I mean, you're in the building.
He just got a chip on his
Just gonna walk right by the desk.
I'm gonna major image just to sort of
Choose the secretary
enhance his
outside.
appearance, make him look like a little buffer, a little like just
Okay. Yormik looks like he hasn't been skipping leg day and didn't sleep through Friday's workout.
Is the secretary there?
She is. She goes by receptionist.
Receptionist.
Mrs. Receptionist.
You know, there was one
Ms.
point that I thought you'd be the light of my world. Now I just realized I can do so much better. And I will walk up.
but canonically you have to
Just
end
playing
up
hard
with
to
her if
get
you-
right.
We're gonna
We just have to end up
bring her
with
back down.
an elf.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't so extreme.
So
Well, she
Yormik,
forgot about
Yormik mic drops the receptionist
Can you
and,
as
follows you up
What's
the
great
stairs.
is the receptionist who didn't know his name. Period. This guy just walks up and he's like,
We could have had
"I'm
something
too
special.
good for you." I walks away and she's just like, "Who's that again?"
as I walk by, I'm gonna
That's
just like
sitcom
nudge her and be
ass.
like, "Can you believe she turned down the guy that defeated the Demon Lords?"
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna press the digitation her chair as well, subtly to make it smell like she farted.
And
the next
Then
hour.
it's just gonna smell like a fart.
That's
This would
fine.
make it-
She'll know. Nobody else needs to.
an excellent use of a subtle smell.
Amazing.
Phenomenal.
You can do that like
Sorcery.
15 more
Yeah, I was
times.
gonna say,
I'll be here
sorcery point well spent.
Yep.
We have to do it like once every minute.
Be careful. I will banish her.
Can't you turn spell slots into sorcery points?
I can.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
We can do this all
Forever.
day, 24 hours, just unable to get rid of the smell.
you follow the familiar path through the tower. You find the quarters that are. This is not the first time that.
This is so not relevant to what's happening right now.
Okay.
I really was curious. Were we able to
Usually
get
we
Lionel's
preface
4th
that.
level spell gem out of his remains?
Oh.
You didn't try to.
That would have
So we would
Like-
we would have at least gone and like honored Lionel's remains somehow. I would have like taken his head to like get back to that guy whose name I definitely remember.
I mean, if you said it a half hour ago, I definitely would have let you.
Alright, guys, we're teleporting back in before we're doing anything.
You don't have to give us the spell gem. At least let me have taken his head, because this whole time Britt has been trying very hard to protect Lionel, and this is the one time that he couldn't. So I want to make sure to get back like a remnant
I
to
did-
the guy, because
I-
the guy loaned him to me.
So,
Still got the thing.
admittedly, if I had one more turn before dying, I was gonna check to see if I could grab it because I could D-door away.
Hmm.
But then it didn't really matter because I turned into a sword, so like it kind of was a moot point at that point.
But then it was a sword.
It kind of was not worth me being like, oh yeah, all you guys who already have D-door, there's a D-door down there for you.
Sure. Just so you don't have to try and teleport back to it.
We would have.
Yeah,
we would
right.
have.
We would have been there.
It would have been.
It would have taken like an afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have retrieved Lionel's spell gem.
Thanks, Dad.
To be fair, that might help with Bryn returning it to the guy and him not being as salty about it.
I'm hoping he won't be salty.
Hey, we'll just kill him.
Anyways, we keep.
These are your heroes.
How dare you feel?
Anyways, we keep walking.
Listen, if you were sane, we wouldn't have tried this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How dare the audacity of this hypothetical situation?
how dare the audacity?
Lashana has called in a favor ahead of time, and they are when you arrive, they're expecting you, and they let you pass, even though you are technically no longer a member. You. So one person escorts you, but it's not. You're not like, you know. They're not like only go where this person goes. They're just walking with you to where Mayor's quarters are, which you're familiar with. They're basically, you know, there's the special sanctum and quarters for like the current head of WAMP, but they're also like, it's not the first time that a former head of the organization has still sort of remained somewhat a part of it. Yeah. So it brings you to the familiar door of Mayor Zeltune. And you knock. Brief moment later. Come in.
She opened the door. She says, "Come in."
She does say, "Come in."
I'll push
So this is still like, there's like a front office kind of like thing to it.
Okay, I'll push the door open and walk in.
You enter into the familiar rooms of your old master of the order.
Is there a secretary, or is it just...
No, it's her. She didn't have a secretary anymore.
You said there's a front
Round
office.
two.
Gotta find one
Good
somewhere.
evening. What time of day is it?
By this point, you're probably getting into like the late afternoon dinner time almost. And just because I know it's been a very long while, she is a, well, at this point, elderly female human.
Yeah. It's been a while, man. Good afternoon.
Vera, so good to see you.
You as well.
Florian told me of your, as he put it, foolhardy endeavor.
Yeah, he's the fool.
But no doubt. But
Totally.
as you're here before me, I can only hope that you've met with success.
Yeah, the demon lords are back in the abyss. And all things said and done, it went pretty well, save for one issue, which is sort of, I mean, I would have paid you a visit either way, but there is a particular issue we are having with one of our friends who died, and then it was, I think as Bryn put it, this is Bryn, Yormik,
Hello.
the sword is Nero, we'll get to that, I'm getting to that, and Shadow.
I'll like tilt the sword forward like a bow.
She gets up and goes and grabs a bunch of little cups and starts pouring tea for all of you.
Nero doesn't need any.
I mean, a cup of tea would be
The
great.
four of
Oh,
you
he does
and
want
her,
some,
so
actually.
five.
You would
just pour it onto the moon.
No, I mean, if I get out of this,
I look for
dip the tip.
I look for
It's
wine.
it's like a straw. Just, you know,
that's.
There.
I don't appreciate this.
She sees you like eyeing her shelves
I'm
for a
not gonna-
second.
I'm not gonna be stubborn.
Right. She sees you eyeing the shelves and is just like, the usual, hun.
Yes, please. It's been a long 70 years.
That's true.
Hey, you're older
Like
than
rather
her.
older. Yeah,
Oh.
you are definitely old.
I'm
Well, you already were older,
Yeah.
but like she's like an 80-year-old human, and
Yeah.
now you're a
You could wish
300-ish.
I was twice her age before I got aged.
Sounds like
Yeah.
an option.
Sounds like
she pulls like a good like bottle of brandy or something that she knows you would
as long
like.
as it's got a real kick. That's all I want right now.
Of course, dear, of course. And pours it. And
none of us are full health. We're all still kind of.
After the short rest, Ashara is, but she used literally all 15 hit dice and healed everybody.
I'm back.
What?
Did she heal at the short rest?
She did 15 HP for all of you.
Okay, yeah.
She did the
so
prayer.
I'm set.
I'm also set.
Literally exactly, but I'm set.
I was less than half, and then I took Orcus damage.
Yeah.
So,
You take less damage when you walk away from where he's throwing the boulders. Just pro tip.
but then he would just throw the boulders whatever I moved to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, see, like, that's, you know what?
But then it wouldn't have hit me.
We'll break it down later.
So, dearie, what is it that I can help you with?
Several things, but the most pressing of which is the fact that our friend here is trapped he's trapped in the sword. He doesn't want to be in there. We want to bring him back, but we don't know how to do that. And we were told that you might be able to help us in that regard.
She walks over in Bryn's direction and just says, puts her hands out. May I?
Yes.
No!
Actually, no.
No!
So it's very temperamental. Double-edged.
And she, holds it up in one hand, and you see her do some components. And I swear to God, if you say counterspell, we'll punch you.
No.
As she casts both detect magic and identify, and just examines it.
Just how's that anti-magic
Not actually.
The tower collapses, and you all die.
Every floor is a magical. Like,
Would Nero cease to exist in the anti-magic code?
It would just be like one of those, like, for a moment.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like you're in a
come
coma.
back. Yeah.
And you're I'm back. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's like I
Similar
fell asleep.
to that floating blade that was in the tower where anti-magic code wouldn't have actually stopped.
Yeah. Just go to sleep for a bit.
You hear her just like kind of cutely introduce herself in her mind to you.
Pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine. We'll see what we can do to get you out of here. And she hands the blade back to Bryn. Alliteration aside, you have hero again.
back to the
Black blade.
I know.
Britton blade.
Well, I have an old acquaintance that, let's just say he owes me a bit of a favor. It still won't come cheap, but I'm sure we can come to an arrangement.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
It's an old mage pal of mine. Bit of a salesman.
Oh no.
Flint.
Yes.
Iron Stag.
Never
was
heard
his
of
name.
Oh, you haven't?
I think I probably.
So yeah, you just are genuinely like, oh, okay,
And then
someone
these
who's
two are
like
like-
Iron Stag.
He's the guy I stole so many things off his cart.
How many powerful
Don't
wizards
touch my
named
shit.
Flint Iron Stag?
Oh, it's
There.
Don't touch
It's
my
that
shit, I
Flint?
guess.
That's the Flint he's talking about.
Right.
I mean, was he in Gracklestug for a long time?
He's been a few places. Gracklestug wouldn't surprise me much. I'm sure I could get in touch with him though and persuade him to return here.
Mention
I believe.
Brennan Nero. It might
Yormek.
mention Brennan Nero.
Sure. Just give me a moment. She just retires out of this like main room with you all with your tea.
She's already retired.
You
Sorry.
can't just call people retired. That's not okay anymore. And she comes back. You presume having cast a sending spell or something. You know, it's rude to be on the phone in front of people like that. And she comes back and says he will be here in a few moments.
Never mind.
Do you think we could fix that thing that was wrong with Nero's eye as well as part of this?
What was wrong with his eye?
Big. It was real ugly.
I think that
I
while
give
you,
you permission to hit him. With me. The blade.
The big scar.
Stick him.
Give him one.
We not.
Give him one.
I'm
sorry. He's making me do it. I'm being controlled by the blade.
Oh no! Oh no! The blade's controlling me. Oh no!
While you wait for Flint's arrival, she won't make you again recount, but this is the first you've seen her since you
I catch you.
joined up with the Underlight, and she is
well past the midway.
quite interested to hear of your exploits and dire situations, and listens with bated breath as you tell your story.
She's like, "This is my Vera."
I mean, I'm like back up to my pre-calamity self. Not calamity, pre-spell plague stuff. We're due for another spell plague, guys. I'm going to lose it all again. Let's go.
What, a spell what now?
I mean, give Yormik the wand. And
Orcus,
see what
yes.
happens.
Please give me the stick.
We're not giving you the wand of Orcus.
No, somebody said spell plague, and neither of you were like P-L.
What?
It's because that's a
Spell
bad joke.
plague. All of the jokes are bad.
Spell plague.
P-L-A-G-U-E.
Spell it. Spell plague.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pass the time sipping on tea and brandy, or a combination thereof.
I kicked out a vamp. I'm sure you heard about that. Well,
I did.
Not so kicked out so much as given a ultimatum that I absolutely refused. But Quarian has so far has asked that he would rather doom the entire city than do what's necessary.
He never could see beyond his own ambitions here. It's a shame there isn't anyone to challenge him at present.
Oh, there might be. Well, there might be.
This guy subtle counterspell all the time.
Can I fire him?
I count
Yeah.
yours.
Uh,
And I feel like I can probably get a few people in my back pockets while I'm at it.
Your group is.
Do
you know the enlarged spell?
No, I just mean like. I think Lashana would probably vouch for me. I hope.
Don't worry, I got
vouch
it
for you.
I
You're way cooler
counterspell
than
him
that
like
other guy.
7 times, and I'd be willing to lie and say it will
You know what we could also probably arrange as heroes of.
That
got
was
that
so
too.
good.
I got that.
As far as favors go, you know we could probably cash in for a griffin ride.
Yes! Finally!
Wait, I can just give. Actually, yeah.
No, don't throw this. I want that. I'm gonna change back into that same kid.
I just killed the demon lord.
But at your intimation that potentially challenging Quarian is something you may be interested in doing, Mayor seems somewhat satisfied at the notion. But we'll leave executing upon that idea for another
Quarian.
time.
Do you need a vice swamp?
After a time,
That's not like.
another knock at the door. And this time, Mayor opens the door and you see
I imagine.
Flint Ironstag standing before
I
you.
imagine all of us are so jumpy. We're just like.
Great.
Like at arms, just like the door knocks. Just like.
And Flint's face looks like a little bemused, and then he sees Bryn, and he just lets out a nice big grinning smile. Ah, Bryn,
Flint!
long time no see.
Indeed. What made you leave Gracklestuk?
Orcus, as it turns out.
Yeah, we may have heard about that.
That's what Mare tells me, that you've been getting into quite the kerfuffles.
That's one word for it.
Honestly, the kerfuffle.
You'll-
All kerfuffles.
You'll be happy to know that at least Orcus himself has been banished back to the Abyss.
Well,
I can't say that I know much about his zombie army and if they're still shambling or if they're just a pile of now rotting flesh in Grackleshug, and so it smells a little better than it did.
That's
But
a major cleanup.
Yeah, that's a problem.
a lot of
good thing-
prestidigitation.
it's a good
Just
thing
gonna
you
go
have
sit down with
snakes.
the tea. Like, jeez.
Oh crap! There's like, yeah.
Like, good thing my family. my family is
Oh.
probably walking around.
Oh no!
That's actually kind of nice, though, right?
Mare,
Process some
Yormik is left to sit off on his own for the moment
We just
and
go to Grackleshug, see
ruminate on the idea of the undead left behind in Gracklestug.
I'm gonna kill that one dude again.
No, just you sitting with your family
And,
shambling zombies.
Uh,
I can't-
Mare
I
says
know,
to
it's
Flint,
Never been ruled.
I believe they need it, Flint. I know that you were saving it for an appropriate occasion, but I don't know if we'll find one more fitting than rewarding guardians of the realm. He's like, I don't disagree. And then Mare quickly follows up with, and I will make sure that Womp appropriately reimburses you. Yes, I agree. I agree. One moment. And he basically like unshoulders his bag and opens it up. And you see him like think for a second and pull out a ring. And he just says,
I do.
Oh man! Well, we were not ready.
I'm a witness. That just happened. Now we're both and get half his shit.
Well, then Flint gets out of yours, so yeah.
Yeah, but at least I think everyone wins in that.
I agree. You can have it all.
he Flynn says, yes, Mayor, we'll hammer out the details later, but he hands you a ring.
Not even gonna get down on one knee. I take the ring, and I'm very aware of if Yormik tries to do anything.
I'm sorry.
There should be one charge remaining. You are now in possession of a ring of 3 wishes. That now has 1 wish, so it's a ring of 1 wish.
Ring of wish.
Huh. I've heard about these. I didn't think that I would ever see one.
It's the only one I've ever come across.
Where did it come from?
Where did the other 2 charges go?
One was already used when I found it. You're doing some math in the corner. Love it.
And not encouraging.
I'm gonna put it on. Do I need to attune to it?
You do not. You just
Okay.
need to be wearing it.
Sure. So I'll put it on. Take the sword, the Lunamars. Nero, what should I wish for?
Just be careful with the wording.
Good advice.
Remember, it could be world peace. No disease.
Could get a griffin ride.
Right. You could just get a griffin.
Who wants to take care of a griffin?
You could wish to be a griffin.
Oh my gosh.
But then Yormik would just try to ride me.
It's true. It's the one downside to this
Try
plan.
is not the word I'd use.
I
then wall.
Also, I think I can just polymorph that.
No, Wish is so much better. I wish that polymorph was
I wish for the ability to free polymorph into a griffin.
Once.
Man.
It can freely reproduce any spell of 8th level or lower.
Polymorph.
You can just teleport somewhere.
Also true.
A perfect use of a win.
I can teleport somewhere, and then I have a ring. Oh.
And then you have a nice mundane
range
range.
Yeah.
for that chair downstairs, though, so if I can borrow that.
I am
I
trying.
wish the chair
I'm
was
trying to
permanently
think of-
prestidigitation spelling shit. I wish all of her
All of her
chairs
chairs.
forever.
Every chair she ever sits in, prestidigitation. Given my ability to
Well, I
cast
not just
first
have
level
her
spells
like
ever.
her butt has prestidigitation
Oh, yeah.
infinitely.
I hope she
That's
dies.
sitting down as the
Yeah.
You know
trigger.
what? I wish she dies alone. There you go.
Jeez.
No,
Prestidigitation.
I continue.
So,
Depressed.
Restored to his life.
I've heard too many tales of this going poorly. So, Nero, I apologize in advance. I wish for Nero's soul, for Nero's body to be returned and be fully healed, and for his soul to be returned to it here and now.
Alive
please see index 4.
Fully healed
and alive.
and alive. In case healing doesn't also give life.
Heal the body.
I mean, we can resurrect a body at this point.
And a lizard.
Level 2. Oh, riding a lizard. Wait, riding an obedient dragon.
As long as it's a run-on sentence, it's still a wish.
Carrying a blimp of 12 million.
I think
Riding an obedient
I will say that, well, yeah, so fully healed and restored. /wish.
This is near enough. You said a body, not his body.
You're
You
a
said
storm
it all.
giant now.
You said it all right.
You can only make bad jokes about the wish for things I actually said.
That's fair. You wait for a moment.
I said that.
The ring on your finger and the Lunamaris both begin to glow until it is blindingly bright. And the light is the white light of moonlight. It becomes golden for a moment as you feel the sword no longer in your hand. You see this golden humanoid figure in front of you.
Solid gold.
Solid. He is now literally. It's the 12 million gold.
Yeah, there you go.
You didn't specify that it couldn't be a gold statue.
True.
The corporeal form of
Really
your
delicious gin.
friend and companion, Nero Amaris, suddenly silhouetted in front of you, the light still blinding, and then all of a sudden it fades. The ring, the light stops emitting from it, and before you, holding the moonblade, appears to be your friend, Nero Amaris.
Why is his hair white now?
Does he still have the scar?
He does still have the scar.
I said fully healed. I tried. I tried.
You did. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that was I was trying to like.
Interesting.
Pinch it in there.
Oh, Nero's back. Oh. Good job.
Good morning. Welcome back. How's it
back.
been not to be a sword?
Thanks, guys.
You have to pee really badly.
He hasn't drank anything.
I was gonna say, I haven't drank in a while.
Yeah, so it's a holdover from before.
Are you feeling okay, little sword?
How healed is he?
He is of perfect health as far as you've ever known him.
Take your clothes. Let's check.
Calm down.
Listen, I've never heard a wish spell cast before. I just want to make sure.
I'm keeping the ring, by the way.
Fair.
George think that's naturally.
He's in mute now.
You did all the. You're the one that died for it.
Yeah, that is okay. We're good now.
You're back.
And we did it.
We got rid of demon lords.
Yes, we did.
Listen, you're not good at lying.
We got
You
rid
were
of the
nice.
Verbal asterisk.
We got rid of the demon lords.
You hesitated.
Listen,
you don't want to kill the demon lords.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Thank you. And I'll look to both of them.
Absolutely. Also,
it was a good wish. It's a little risky. But I had faith that you would be specific enough.
Flint, I will say this. I'm glad we didn't touch your shit, bro.
Yes, you are.
Could have had that ring.
I mean, probably not.
What else you got in that bag, Flint?
Oh, just trinkets. I'll show you sometime.
Insight. Is he gonna show me sometime?
Roll your insight check.
He just wanted you to tell him.
Can you
12.
turn on air conditioning a little bit?
Wait, turn it on.
He might show you some of it.
It's very cool.
I think it's very cool, but I will try.
Oh no.
What?
In the air conditioning. I mentioned to him.
So,
It's not awful.
78.
wish completed. Having returned Nero to his normal form. Well, your audience with Mare and Flint will eventually conclude. Whether it be today or tomorrow, Lashana makes sure to inform the Black Staff of your exploits and calls in a favor to make sure that Yormik is able to go for a griffin ride. It is specially arranged.
Oh my gosh.
I'll summon mine to ride with him.
I throw at least a firebolt at the sun now that I'm closer.
They
we
actually,
all
so
go for
in
a ride?
addition to you like getting to go on a ride, like they actually like deploy a whole bunch of the
Oh,
cavalry, so that
that's
it's like this
cool.
like dope sky parade.
Yes.
Oh
Sweet.
man.
Love it.
Can I be like an honorary Griffin Scout?
Yeah, in the same way that like someone could get like an honorary degree that really doesn't actually
Yeah,
count.
no, for sure. Like
just
pilot
a
wings,
title.
if you're like 6 on a plane and the
Yeah.
pilot, yeah, like one of those. Yeah, okay, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Finally part of another organization.
Oh, the campaign's finally come together.
There you go.
in the
We
most
did it.
Beautiful way.
Proud of you.
Oh,
You rode that griffin.
You're from a man of the underground to a man of the skies.
really, potential is limitless.
That's true, except for that fireball fell short.
One day.
One day.
My children's children's children will carry on the mission.
So, with that, we will leave the immediate aftermath of your slaying of the demon lords. And now is the next question: what comes next for everyone?
I say we sleep first.
I was assuming that had happened.
Okay. Next, I would.
You all absolutely leveled up.
Let's
If there was
Oh.
remotely any doubt.
let's go.
Wow, we're level 17 now. Cool.
Let's go.
I can't believe we
I
got to
asked
20th
I asked that
level
for the
in
last
this
fight. You said we leveled
No,
up. So
I crit
that's
on
cool.
19s.
Oh no! Before you crit on 18.
I want to make rings for Ashara and Lashana. But but like the same one we have, just they're not as described.
Okay.
Although a shard would probably was something.
Okay.
You had one for
Don't
Shara, like a
I did.
inscription.
I don't think I did.
You verbally had mentioned one for
I
her.
did.
The first time that's happened.
decided on one.
With a 10?
Oh crap! It's an 8.
I was gonna say,
Every
I was like,
time, I always
you
think
can't
it's a
roll
five.
10s because you're a D8.
It's a 5. That's fine.
But I definitely look into getting my age restored if it's possible. It sounds like it's not.
Solid.
Not from that one, no.
Not from what?
That one is not a reversible aging effect.
Unless you wish it.
Right, you're talking that scale of magic to
Well, I
undo
just
it.
need one more level.
Alright, let's go kill grass.
Right. I think we're hunting on Grests. Right.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, here we are.
We would do that. But
So, eventually, I'm sure you will get to hunting down Grest.
yeah.
Might be a getting the band back together moment, but
Yeah.
we'll deal with that another time. Do you you had mentioned outside of the session potentially something about the drow pursuit or pursuers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we definitely killed them.
Elvara and Asha.
100%.
What's going on with them?
Asha Vandry has returned to Menzo Baranzan with news of Ilvara's failure and subsequent cursing. Cursed to exist in the form of a drider, which is imagine a large-sized spider body, and then give it the centaur torso. So it's like this half drow, half spider abomination. And while powerful, is considered a great abomination. It is a dishonorable way for any self-respecting worshiper of Lolth to end up.
Yeah, but like, Lolth just graced you with a more powerful form.
No.
That seems great.
This is.
Just saying,
I mean, it's more physically powerful.
I'm just
it's not like
saying,
magically an
from
uber
the Drow's
mage.
perspective, I don't know. That seems
That's a
pretty
good
badass.
point.
She was blessed with Lolth's form. That's amazing.
Is Asha punished at all?
She's
Asha is not.
She's not.
Well, so like,
She's a
are you
subordinate.
trying to scry on her? Are you like hunting her down and trying to murder her? What's the game plan?
So
I'm down to kill her.
no. So the next thing Bryn is doing is
Dad?
I'm gonna try to find my dad.
And I will absolutely help him with that.
Same.
We all ride griffins now, right?
I mean, I'd buy a griffin.
I'm a Griffin scout.
I just
I'll
summoned
mobilize a
griffins.
whole fleet.
I'll ride the Griffin with you, and Yorma can ride on the immovable disguise.
It's just you're flying way up there, and you just get drugged 3 feet off the ground.
Yorma's like,
Unironically, though, I would ask, especially the people who can like stone shape and whatnot, hear me out. In our arena that we fought the demon lords, we make a shield serving half pipe.
God damn it.
I thought you were gonna say like a nice memorial to honor the battle that
I
took
mean,
place.
Absolutely
Shield surfing
not.
half
They
pipe
do
is
not-
way better
They
idea.
do not get the respect of that.
No.
Nobody's ever gonna go there.
Yeah, no. Well,
This is where we practice
No
shield
one
serving.
died.
Yeah, I love it.
We're good.
I
Just to spite the Underdark.
I spend a
And we
good
leave it.
amount of my free time. Sorry, Fish, first.
I was gonna say, in every language of instructions that we can provide, we have like on one of the walls, it just describes what is shield serving, how to shield serve,
Yeah.
and like we just give. There's a half pipe. It's like giant. It
Big
goes
time.
across it. Then there's like a slope. There's like
Study,
you just have like a bunch of
enchantments
stuff.
to, like-
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
You
like
guys
a
you
shield
guys
surfing
spend
park.
some time doing this. It takes a while.
This is not number one priority.
This is like maybe number 8 priority.
It happens eventually. I just wanted to say it was important.
Whenever it's like
natural
Underdark vacation
going
time.
on. Yep. People are like can you save us? And we're like, we're real busy. Actually,
I gotta nail
this.
Depends. Can you hit a 900?
Right.
Well, like I would love, like Temple of Selene calls up, and I was like, I would love to be there, but my boy Yormik just said that he landed a 720 last week, and I have to be there to see this. He's going for a 900.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It's never been done.
It's never been done. What's shield surfing?
Come check it out.
We're open to franchising.
0 out.
Give you the 3 coordinates, the X, Y, and Z coordinates to get there.
Call himself
goodness.
Tony
Okay.
Griffin.
Griffins to Bryn's dad.
So, with some more of the favors owed to you by the kingdoms of the Sword Coast and the contacts of Womp and Mare and even the Blackstaff herself, she is the one who grants the Griffin parade and rides.
Yes.
You eventually utilizing once again the faithful hound. Follow it far to the northeast. From your prior trigonometry, you had ascertained that it was somewhere in the central northern part of the high forest. And now, with nothing but clear sky ahead of you and the faithful hound to guide you, you follow it up south of Silvery Moon, east of Tribor, southwest of Oliston's Hold. You find yourself at the outskirts of a enormous estate. You are not specifically familiar with this location, but you were aware that there was a pretty well-to-do elven contingent living just outside Oliston's Hold. So basically, you are on a giant, aristocrat's estate. Following the hound, eventually it goes a bit underground, and you, with writ from Vajra, basically declaring the Underlight champions of the Sword Coast. You see yourself in, despite the protests of the many staff and guards on location.
Once we encounter some protest from them, I'm gonna cast Glibness.
Okay, absolutely. And they're not it's not like you're walking into an army barracks, but the butler's not supposed to just let people in, and you can sense where the hound is, and you demand from the butler to know where's the basement. Mm-hmm. He leads you down. You need to go down further. More. I know there's more. He leads you out of the the more formal, normal basement into an almost dungeon-like basement of this enormous manor house. And as you descend the stairs into this dungeon-like basement, you hear the familiar clanging of a hammer on an anvil. They show you to this underground smith's prison quarters / smithy. And for the first time in many, many years, you are face to face with Anders Stormwind. His face covered in many years of beard. The same rippling muscles that you'd expect of a smith of this caliber, and just any smith really, because it's hard work. And he just like looks at you dumbfounded.
Dad.
Bryn? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. I thought you had died. We thought you died.
That's, at a certain point, what I had assumed. The lord of the house had made sure to tell me when your mother remarried. But, I cried, but I was also happy for her. I knew that I wouldn't be able to escape this place, so happy with someone else is better than alone, I guess. It took me when near the end of the conflict, after the worst of the mess on the front lines was over. They had me doing repairs, the normal kind of work, and went to bed one night and awoke to many hands on me, covering my mouth, and being knocked out and taken here. Seems there's still some folks who can't let go of the old ways.
They just took you.
Apparently, Master Moriaris is, well, couldn't stand for the mixing of the bloodlines.
Does the name Moriaris ring a bell?
Probably not specifically. It's a rich person's name that you would know, right? Like you've heard of the Elon Musks, the crazy rich people of this world. He is an incredibly kind of Lucius Malfoy-esque kind of piece of shit rich guy. And so you've just heard the name. You aren't really from the High Forest as much. Like, you might have heard it. Sure. It wouldn't hold any particular meaning to you, I don't think. He... Well... I certainly tried to leave a few times. To no good avail, but they'd bring me right back, and eventually I quit trying when he threatened you, and so I've just been here, taking solace from the fact that you and your mother were all right.
I'm just gonna run up and give him a hug.
He hugs you back like you've never been hugged before in your life. And how you deal with that is up to you. how your parents deal with, because I assume you're not leaving him here.
Yeah, can we play this out? I don't know how much. I don't know how much detail you want to go in.
Is the house made of wood?
I was gonna say. I was about to say, Dad. I think I'll tell you the full story later. We got taken by some drow, and I made some friends. I think I can get you out of here, and then I'll introduce you to my friend Yormik.
Finally!
This manor house is very much predominantly made of wood.
Oh, it's done. Okay. That's a good thing.
I'll
put a hand on your shoulder and say, give him hell, buddy.
And as you say that, an older-looking elf comes down the stairs, along with a few of his guards and servants, just flanked by them.
And I will stand looking menacing.
What is the meaning of this? What are you doing in my house?
And tell them you will escort us out, and then go back inside.
I feel a little bad for the servants who are about to get murked here, but I understand.
Too bad.
They knew he was
Look,
down
we
there.
spared the entire Drow City. Not everybody's making it out of this alive.
What's your DC?
Great question. 18?
Can you impose disadvantage?
20.
I think
because I have the drums.
Hang on. Hold.
I don't think you can put it on his spell.
Hang on.
I don't think you can heighten his spell.
Hold.
What if about to be done holding?
What if
By
I
being detained?
How many people can it hit, or is it
12?
12?
I cannot impose
12?
on someone else's spell.
Now just the front 12.
You cast glibness.
And there was not.
I did. Well, but it's a save.
Is it wisdom save?
And there was not a natural 20 among them.
Oh boy, these boys in trouble.
And you see.
I'm so glad that spell came in handy.
You see all of the guards that were flanking him. The two closest to him just like grab him by the arms, and start taking him up the stairs. And they just sort of all lead you back up out of this room. And a minute or two later, you reach the first floor again, and you walk out the door of this manor house with your companions and your father.
So I believe I can create 4 delayed blast fireballs.
You want to leave some when you are on the way out? Because I'll let you.
Bryn, is it okay if I blow it up now, or do you want to be farther away when it happens?
I would like to. Everyone gather close. I'm going to force cage with bars so that we can cast spells out of it.
Oh man.
Give us some protection.
Should nick some expensive things on the way out.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
No, for sure. Anything look particularly...
We're not gonna snoop, but just like
on our way.
Nice candelabra sitting on a table, just like, this is ours now.
Yep.
This is ours.
Anything
I'll
really
be like,
valuable
Dad,
to
is there
survive
anything
this.
that you want on the way out?
He's just baffled his son. I should suggest that he's got these decked
out. It came
out.
to me in the basement.
I should think that you've earned some payment over the years.
Do you know where he keeps the gold?
We're not. I'm not.
No, he doesn't
I'm
let
not
the
into looting.
slave
Sure,
prisoner
no, that's
in the
fine. Yeah,
basement
no, that's
privy to his vault
Just
combination.
just in case he dropped it while he was picking up the sword, I keep the gold here.
Grab whatever nice things.
Does he have
is there
any nice young kids?
Is there any really big statue? Like
I
really
wanna get
big
him out.
ornate
That's
statue?
true, yeah.
What was it? I'm
Is
sorry.
there any really big ornate statue?
Oh, there's absolutely some. Probably, 2 stone statues and a few real nice suits of armor.
The nicest stone statue that's in there, I animate it and have it walk with us.
We have it pick up some of the servants or not. I'm good with it.
Oh
either
no,
way. Okay. Then
I'll grab some wine.
Bryn Bryn is
Yep, no,
still
that's
a teenager and seeing red.
On board.
If there are any kids, I
Caleb
get them
would
out.
love to save the innocent
fortunately,
servants in here. Bryn is just like,
there
burn it
are no
down.
children.
Okay.
So everyone here
Okay,
is
okay.
adult.
Everyone
Yeah,
here,
Yeah, I guess
At least.
kids.
everyone
I-
committed
yeah.
tax evasion in this house. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god. All right, so
I just shrugged of here and I'm like,
Still chaotic.
I'm also
neutral.
enjoying
So,
Armin hasn't changed.
You're
yeah.
outside the front doors. The 12 people that you've suggested are now standing in the main lobby holding on to Master Aemon Moriaris, the Lord of the House.
for funsies, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him
9.
just to make him like really not be able to move.
I'm gonna cast
If
16 fireball.
What's your save?
16.
Roll a natural 19.
Whatever.
But you've got some time. You can try again.
Nah.
You said hold person.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
One,
hold on a
if
second.
Nero would like to save the other people,
The servants.
yeah.
I don't know how many of them were in on it. I want to. If there's anybody, Vera and I were just talking about this. If there's anybody who looks like blatantly like they would have no idea that this was going on,
The
because the chef probably doesn't know about the guy locked 3 floors down.
right. You can probably have a decent idea of who looks like they just work upstairs, and
Yeah.
then the guards are the kind of folks that are probably going to be
Also,
aware
if my
of the
dad would want to
prisoners.
get anyone out.
That's fair.
Yep. Who was kind to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. He points out a few. He's like the people who work here. They don't have a better option.
Oh, tell them to grab any of the gold that they know of the location of in here. It's theirs.
He does so, and again, it's still just very kind of dumbfounded and a bit bewildered at what's happening right now.
I'll do use a major image or whatever to sort of make a voice ring out.
Probably
Talking
going.
to Bryn's
He's probably
dad,
got
You've
allies.
been through a lot,
probably.
but just no one screws with Bryn or the other knights anymore. So. Or their family, for that matter.
Okay.
Cast Wall of Force and just pin him to the ground, so he has to watch his house fall around him as it explodes. And if
Burn.
you're okay with that,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay, cool.
Do you want me to cast resist fire?
So
it burns
I think when
longer,
you
or-
have a delayed blast fireball, you have to
Come on,
concentrate on it while
Morpheus.
it cooks.
Oh yeah.
That's okay. I'll just cast 16 regular fireballs.
Okay.
Yours is going
Varying
through
levels. Yeah. I'm gonna convert.
you allow the butler, kitchen, the serving staff. You give them a minute or so as you grab a few things on your way out. You give them time to leave the premises and tell their fellow serving staff that it's time to go. Your 12 dominated or suggested individuals still remain in the lobby, holding Eamon in place and under great protest, but he's just an old man.
It is
after a
great
minute or two-
protest, though.
Man, I wish that I would have kept one of those alkylith eyes so I could just shove it in his mouth to gag him before we leave.
I
After
have some meat.
after a minute or two, you were reasonably confident that the servants have left the manor house, and before you is Eamon and his estate.
Just point.
A bunch of people above the law.
Yep, force cage around us to sort of protect us from shrapnel, and
Do we have a spell gem still?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Yeah, probably multiple of them.
No, I was gonna put a fireball in as the Bryn could throw the first fireball.
I don't think I can.
Dang it.
I
Okay.
have to be able to cast it.
Just point my arm.
And I'll just
Believe I can do 172 d6 fire damage at a minimum. I think it's more than that technically with the levels I can cast to that,
Incredible.
but
I mean, that's 11 fireballs at a minimum without using your extra spells,
Right.
and you watch Yormik orchestrate a symphony of fire on this house.
You gotta play a song while he's doing it.
Oh yeah, no, I forget what the song is called.
Beforehand, you just tell me how to hit the drums. And I'm just like, I'm like, all right.
I throw reverse gravity in there, so the whole house lifts up, and then turn it off.
Amazing. And just
It's just never.
in the next minute, the entire house is entirely engulfed in flames. And Yormik, having exhausted every spell slot he has,
All of it.
Every single one.
you all stand in front of this burning mansion. It is huge. It's like castle-sized mansion. And you all stand there together and watch it burn to the ground. You watch the eventually the 12 soldiers inside. They try and because I think like they follow your course of action, but I think there's a clause about like mortal
there
danger.
is.
Yeah, like once.
Yeah, once the first one goes off, I impose disadvantage for every single one of them. Now.
So you know, some of them remain. A couple of them eventually start fleeing, already somewhat burning. And as soon as it looks like Eamon is about to sort of get loose, Yormik saved one spell slot to keep him in place. And you watch this man's.
And he is.
Hey, yeah.
What's your spell save?
I will impose disadvantage on this save.
Good, because I rolled an 18. Metal die is being real stubborn with this old dude.
It is 18. I'll cast it again.
I believe it.
I'll cast it.
The disadvantage gave him a 3.
There we go.
I was gonna say.
And you see him start to move and then just freeze. And
I can't wait for a
you
beam
watch
to just come down on his head.
the whole mansion come down on him.
That's why you don't build your houses with wood.
That's what I'm saying. It's a terrible building.
See, that's
material.
why castles are better.
Yeah.
Made of brick.
Caves
instead.
might even be the best.
No, because you can't have windows.
Can't see the moon either.
Can't see the moon, most importantly.
True.
I'm glad you're coming around on the moon. I know the sun's not.
Yeah, no, the moon. I'm cool with that. It's like.
By the way, Nero Maris, pleasure is mine to meet you.
Good to meet you.
While this may look a little odd, trust me, he's been in good company. Well,
He's been.
I look
in
over
company.
at Yormik.
How do you
He's
feel?
been in company.
How do you feel about the sun?
Don't answer.
And so
Speaking as someone who has been imprisoned for the past how many years?
Good point. Yeah, no, you know
Probably
what?
big on
Yeah,
the sun.
Big on the sun.
biased opinion for the moment.
Let him borrow your hat.
Yeah, just-
But-
Oh, it's my favorite thing in the world. Thank you.
For now, the tale of the Underlight is over.
So I'm going back to find
And,
Paolo. I'm just gonna tell him everything.
We will take a break and come back after for the final epilogue and the campaign recap.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm so happy that we did that.
That was beautiful.
I was
fantastic.
100% ready to go and just be like, I will like cleave through if I
I'm
have
very
to.
proud of
100%.
you guys for not joking through it because that was not easy to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was-
thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
We'll be right back with the recap. Thanks for hanging out. And we're back.
I'm a shortest.
All right. So, for our final epilogue send-off, we will go around the table. We'll start with
How dare
Bryn.
you?
So, after all this, I would return to my contact within the Harpers and explain the situation and try to join and align with them, furthering their endeavors, and do kind of the traveling bard thing, the more classic bard thing, as a front for a while.
Lord Zelron Roaringhorn graciously accepts the amulet and the gem back, and is not perturbed that you lost that in such a important mission. And you do gain admittance into the Harpers.
Nice.
Yeah, it would be that. That's really all I had planned out.
Okay. Vera?
A handful of things. I mentioned to you guys a second ago, but yeah, I'm going to write down everything I know about the Demon Lords in just excruciating, as much detail as I can manage, and proliferate that information throughout the Sword Coast and even beyond as needed, just so that if Demon Lords ever do return to the material plane, people can figure out how to get rid of them a bit easier than we had. She is going to hopefully someday take the wish spell to try and wish back her years. Because she's on the cusp at the end of this campaign, sort of learning how to do that. She was going to sort of always be available to, and this probably goes for all of us, but just make sure that if any of you guys need help, that she can drop what she's doing and come to your aid. Just going to work on her amulet and perfect that. Eventually, assuming that she perfects it, she would...
Oh, she does.
Okay.
You have plenty of time.
Okay. I would copyright the schematic and make royalties.
At some point, you go back down under and basically seeking out specifically a spectator. So those have the magic reflective abilities, and that's sort of what you decide is sort of the final piece, right? The whatever in that makes that like a reflexive thing
That makes sense.
lets you finish your amulet and effectively program it in such a way that on incoming magical threat of sort, they'll activate the anti-magic shield.
Cool. But, I'm also going to patent the anti-magic one because I figured that out. Might as well patent that too.
Yeah.
And,
Vera does not live out her days in squalor.
every traveling person with some money has at least some protection from being just ambushed by a Yormik somewhere along the road.
Oh, I got you.
And he's just like, oh, you absorbed that one. Fireball again.
I got 12 more. Go all day.
It's only got one charge. It's a shame.
Yeah.
She would like to take over WAMP eventually and see that things actually got done, and keep their ear to the ground for threats, and if I take them off at the pass instead of waiting for them to come to Waterdeep's door, like Quarian had. She'll probably devise, if Quarian doesn't leave WAMP, she'll probably devise some...
Oh, after losing his power, he would leave the order. He would find a new place to try and...
It's a shame. What if I figure out something?
Make a name for himself, or find some new
like,
power to cling on to.
Give him a position that's humiliating in some way. Anyway, I think was that it? She catch up with her friend before she passes because she's human and sad. we get the rings enchanted, as I was mentioning before. Yeah, I don't know. That she probably tries to stay as head of WOMP for until her years catch up to her, and until eventually she just sort of retires and just picks up her wine game a bit more. That was all at all possible.
Nice.
Yep. Yormek?
Yormek will find out whoever published Vera's research and will tell the real story of the Underlight. He will sell that story to anybody who will listen, and using that money he'll travel, becoming
Doesn't do much traveling.
like a member of he'll try to join the Harpers with Bryn, become an acolyte of Selune with Nero, apply for a position with Womp when Vera gets there, and eventually will found an organization called the Iron Hands. That is a group of experts, map makers, guides, demolitionists, identifiers of fine statue, etc., to live out his days and eventually die playing chess with Vera.
Probably.
Can I offer one
Vera doesn't win.
one detail to your story as the first recruits to your Guild of Iron Hands?
Yeah.
It might be if you're looking for guides and cartographers, might be 2 goblins adepted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yormek, Yuck Yuck, and Spider Bait.
What a combo.
At it again.
He would also, at some point, scry on Gracklestube, and if it is not actively overrun with zombies, he would off the king that killed his family.
I'll help with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of leans
Wow.
into part of what I...
One day you wake up and just like, hey guys, we want to kill the
I will help with that if I'll get some sort of disguise.
No, I won't disguise.
It's
that
these
feels
three.
right.
Yeah.
It's
That
these
feels
three and some mysteriously short
And
shrouded
we would
figure.
make Hemoth the successing king.
Big time Hemoth. Last thing. He would spend every resource and connection he could looking for the Society of Brilliance, trying to join. That's the last one. He would be trying to find where Wickham went and figure out why they picked him over Yormek. It's a big, we talk about it all the time. Over chess and wine.
Okay.
I never met him, but I'll let him help I can.
Fair enough.
You just seem to know him so well.
I know.
And last but not least.
So Nero would definitely continue on with adventuring. Probably in some cases, since everybody would be doing their things, in some cases, more of what he was doing before, but apparently a lot easier now. A lot easier than
Weird how
These
6
werewolves
months can
ain't
change
nothing.
it.
Yeah. In addition to probably some things with Shara. Definitely at some point he would have an annual meetup with Yormek to do shield surfing.
Yes.
On the
Big time.
Demon Lord half pipe.
Oh, that gets so sad when Yormek gets old.
It's fine.
Yeah,
we'd have an annual meetup on the half pipe for sure. And also we would aside from because I would assume he would be bored knowing Yormek. Aside from the what's it called, the regicide that we would be committing, and I would definitely invite him to the Slaughter the Illithid city.
Yes.
So
excursion.
notably, the Illithids aren't there.
We find
We
them.
Find him.
So
We will use wish if we have to.
We'll do whatever is necessary.
Dog finds brain.
so somebody rolled on through town after you guys did.
Oh. Who?
Orcus.
Oh, so they're gone.
They're not where their hive used to be anymore. They were at the assault on Gracklestube. And
That would've been
now
wild.
there is somewhere
A zombie.
an undead elder brain
Yikes.
at the head of a rather sizable legion of undead illithids
Love it.
and just some other undead.
Oh, we for sure go on
we
a
kill
crusade
them.
against
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
They're all dead.
All the more reason to get
Yeah.
church involved.
Yeah, that's even easier to mobilize.
Join up. Let's go.
Yeah, so we would do that. And after a while, since he would be a lot older, everybody would pass at some point. First, if any of them had, particularly if Bryn had any kids, he would definitely at least teach them, like, the way of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't necessarily, like, be like, you're a Salune worshiper.
I could definitely
But,
see
like, if
one of my kids being like you should go and be a paladin over there.
Yeah. And
Valid.
yeah, once
Oh,
he
really?
got a little bit on, like, I feel like the years, especially the longer that they were gone, the rest of the group, the more it would, like, slow down. And he would probably look to be head of the church in Neverwinter. And then after, like, training the next generation, whether it's, like, his own, like kin or whoever, like, then he would, like, die, so to speak, like, it just accept the, like, future of being, like, forever serving Salune by becoming one with the sword, and, like, grant the usage of the blade to, like, the next worthy successor. So, and like I said, whether that's his kin or somebody else, that's history.
Bryn's kid.
I think I'll
I mean,
still be alive long
I'm just
commenting.
that's the weird.
I was gonna say I would outlive Bryn's kids.
Kids.
Yeah, I would have to go down.
So, the last remaining member of the Underlight lives out his days, longing for you all, but still serving his goddess and his true calling. And eventually, the Underlight is no more. But the deeds will live on forever. And that's it.
Whew.
One more time.
Trim back.
All right, take it from the Grackle Student. Let's go.
Rotate characters.
We're not even going to Grackle Shoot's the last city we're hitting on that. Going the other way. Oh,
We
man.
follow Topsy and Turvy.
Thank you, Kevin, for being every other character in this game.
Both the ones that we enjoyed and hated.
Yeah.
Especially the times you talk to yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
Or the
super
times you fought
weird.
yourself.
Right?
Because it's super normal to, like, sort of have a conversation in your own head kind of with yourself,
Yeah.
but it's very different to be to other people out loud as yourself. It's
Because especially
very
because you
strange.
gotta think how each one would react to the other one talking,
Right.
and you can only do one at a time. So you're like, okay, so we'll say this. Okay, wait, what did I just say? Okay, I said that. And as this guy, I would respond like this, and it's
very strange. So now that we're to the recap portion, what would you guys like to know?
I have questions. Yeah, I know everything.
Yep, I think we...
Never good.
So I can start us off with one that I know is going to come up.
Yeah.
Wickham,
Yeah, that's it.
after joining with the Society of Brilliance,
died.
became a Hexblade warlock with Avaraxis, his demon familiar, as his weapon.
Oh, sweet.
Along with the Society of Brilliance, he was particularly focused on trying to use the maze engine to banish the demon lords. You guys never made it that far south. That was the place where you might have seen him.
That would have been cool.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah. What happened
What?
after?
So when you guys go on your quest specifically to remove Grast from the material plane, Wickham is highly interested in participating in such a quest.
Yeah.
He does, given the convenience of the teleportation now in your arsenal, if you would, help him out, he could finally stop him and visit his family very quickly, so that they know he's still alive.
True.
Before he has to
them and take the longer route to getting rid of the demon lords.
And he works with whichever of you are going to sort of continue down the road to finding Grast. Most immediately.
I mean, does he have teleport?
I don't think so.
Does he teleport?
Does anybody want to bring Wickham with us?
I'll do it.
I mean,
for sure. He's coming.
Vera would ask you guys if you trust him, and if so,
I would want him brought. I can't teleport, but
I can teleport.
I can teleport.
I guess I'd eventually learn teleport.
It's up to the people who can teleport.
Well, I get magical secrets again.
So, when we at some point do the epic level hunt for Grast,
We get him.
Wickham can be there as well. Nihilist, everybody's dear friend. Plane shift.
We would for sure want to get him back at some point.
Yeah, that is a lot less trivial than you make it sound.
Well, I'm not saying that it's trivial. I'm saying if we could find a way, we would try and get him back.
So he was sent to a limbo-esque layer of the abyss. Not limbo like, limbo purgatory.
Yeah.
Like limbo like the plane of limbo.
Yeah.
It's just a level of the abyss that greatly resembles the chaos of limbo.
Hype.
Dunan was killed fending off a raid by followers of Baphomet. But the rest of his clan escaped and eventually found their way to Blingdenstone.
Oh, cool.
Who's doing
Cohen.
Yep.
The Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Stool is safe and sound with Sovereign Basidia.
Nice.
And her little clan of shrooms. If you guys had let Stool have the egg, the moment that was in my head and the reason that I wanted you to let Stool take the egg was I really wanted Stool to bust through a stone wall at some point, riding a frog hemoth to bail you guys out of some crazy mess you got yourselves into, or bring him in for the final fight somehow and just have this hilarious and kind of awesome moments. But instead, he lived out his life safely.
That's much better. He probably, if what you described happened, he would have been dead. He'd be dead.
Both hit points would be out.
Yes. That is the most impressive thing that we did this campaign.
Long time in the future, Stool himself grows to become a Myconid sovereign and lead his own pod, or whatever the correct term for a family of Myconids would be.
Makes sense.
What you learned from Android.
Globagul is in Blingdenstone, alive and jiggling.
Yeah.
He's still kind of helping out Jim Jar, make sure that, because the Demon Lord presence doesn't just disappear overnight. So he's using his jiggling prowess to try and identify the vulnerable points where the oozes could still potentially be getting in. Because there's still, some sort of draw to that location for them.
Yeah.
Bupido was fully convinced that he was the living incarnation of the Darrow god Dinkarazon, an avatar of murder, offering bloody sacrifices to create a path of carnage through the Underdark for his people to follow to glory.
So is that wholly separate from the Demon Lords?
Yeah.
Okay. It follows the madness theme, but
sure.
Okay. I also raised an eyebrow to it, right? It's we have enough crazy. We don't need other obscure Darrow god crazy right now.
My brain just kept being but how is the Darrow god connected to the Demon Lords? I just needed to
a bunch of dangling yarn coming off that one.
Where does it connect? That's the whole Gracklestone chapter, my friends.
Yeah.
That one was a learning experience.
Great chapter.
Prince Darendil was touched by the delusions of Fraz Urblu. He was an otherwise normal Quagoth, but was completely convinced, due to his madness, that he was an elven prince.
Love it.
The kingdom of Nelrindenvane that he said he hailed from doesn't exist.
Yep.
And all of his recollections and personality are an illusion created by the effects of the Demon Prince of Deception.
Huh. He died.
If you had ever presented him incontrovertible proof that he was in fact not a prince, he would have gone apeshit and tried to kill you. Just totally mad.
That would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Vengeance.
How do you prove someone is not a prince of a made-up kingdom?
Look, it's on the map.
Vengeance was originally an Aasimar without a name, who was betrayed and sold into slavery, wherein he chose his name, because the way that it's very common with both tieflings and Aasimar, sort of pick up. It's almost an emotion or a feeling that becomes your name, that sort of is you incarnate, which is why his name was Vengeance. And he was planning, very justifiably so, to fight his way out of the slave fighting pits and eventually get some very justified vengeance on the person who caused him to be there in the first place.
Did he get out before?
Absolutely not.
Didn't think so.
That side of the city got particularly fucked.
Yep. Sucks.
Well, that was the guy in the fighting pits in
Grackle Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
We touched on this a little, but Asha Vandry returned to Menzenberenzon and is plotting to have the four of you hunted down as revenge for killing her brother.
Bring it.
And
that's great.
Basically, yeah, so when you guys were escaping the Underdark, she saw all of you there, so everybody did make her hit list.
Nice.
We just killed
Ilvara obviously did not survive as you know her,
So I can continue to throw
and she is now cursed by Lulth to be a Drider. The drow woman in the secret study in Grump's sanctum was a Nabasu demon sent by Lulth to help Grump with his attempt to summon and bind the Demogorgon.
help in the
to help him summon. Your Demon Lord tier list as requested. The Demogorgon.
Shocker.
Alright, guess number 2 and 3.
Orcus 2.
Buffo.
Grass 2.
Orcus 2,
3.
Grads 3.
I guess. I agree with that one.
Whatever they didn't say.
I put Grass 2.
Orcus 2, Grass 3.
I figured that was more likely, but I was like, I'm gonna go for the dark horse.
These are also not official. These are like Kevin's Demon Lord universe tier
I
list.
felt like Grad's move was
the top
hit
3 being the
these two
top
against
3
each other,
are...
and then
Grass is a
What
strategist.
about
Those
Grass
two guys are
versus a
just
party with 3
Yeah.
counterspells?
Right.
Does that change his tier rating?
Pathetic.
You have
Basically.
counter Greatsword?
what's the
Essentially a combo.
Kind of sometimes.
what's
Yeah,
the
kinda.
chance that we actually defeat Gratz if in that moment we had just gone for it? If I had like telekinesis to hold him,
Without Nero?
Really tough to put together.
that was the situation.
That was the
He
situation.
did have damage on him from
Right.
Orcus.
We had several options to like banish him as well.
I like obviously you can't play out the combat, but just like
Hypothetically.
What does it look
is
I
like?
had
was it
15
more than
HP.
20%
You had
chance that we
15.
win?
I
I mean,
15
also,
HP.
only one of you could actually even see him.
Correct.
For starters.
I could
That's an important factor.
Fine. You had the gem.
Yeah.
But
We
you have
had
to-
two people.
Given your current state when you would have been starting that fight, I don't think you...
Yeah,
It's
I doubt
possible,
Yeah.
it. I doubt
but I
it.
don't think you will.
Yeah.
I
You'd have
hearing
been
them make
scraping
their
the bottom
choice.
of the barrel on all 7 charges of the wand,
Yep.
on every last ounce from the Staff of Power, like every last bit of oak you
Staff
had.
of Power.
I would've
And it
broken
might
for sure.
still not
Yeah.
have been enough because he's a fucking demon lord
Yeah.
and this dude can teleport like it's his job.
We have 2 bags of holding.
He does have
And
like.
I still had
Is it?
teleport
I'm
prepared,
assuming
and
it's
we got
Dimension
teleports out.
Door
Yep.
that he is like.
I
He
think
can
it's
just
it's like-
decide to teleport.
Oh, I was gonna say. I
can't
was gonna
counter
say
it.
is like innate. Well, yeah.
Yes, it's
This
an
is like
ability,
innate
not a
D
spell.
door,
So
basically.
if we can counter it, the whole game.
What's the range on it?
Well, he was
Is it-
going
is
from
it
like
300
here
or is
all
it
the way
like
over
60?
there.
I'm not going to tell you because we're going to do a one shot against him.
Oh,
at some
sure,
point.
fair.
All I know is like he is highly mobile and he's like
But who's gonna run?
he's like a
I am.
he's like a more mobile Nero and hits like equivalent or harder.
Yeah, probably
Like,
consistently too.
without
like he doesn't run
smite.
out of charges.
Yeah, without
Floor
the
is
smite.
probably like 30 damage.
Although I did not run out of charges during that fight.
And then as for the last few questions, those were the more serious end of the spectrum of what you guys had told me ahead of time. As for what was in the web, the answer is this skittering queen.
Hype.
Oh boy.
But you guys can see it. I think it's kind of nuts. It's really dope, though.
Imagine fighting that.
Yeah. Would have been pretty lame.
Yep. The skittering
easy.
queen was in the center of the web.
That was absolutely.
The Keepers of the Flame did not ever bother to take on the mantle of the Holders of the Torch.
That was not the
Okay,
question.
that's a retcon.
Until specifically directed to by King Hemeth Steel Shadow.
Yeah.
It was
was
forced
gonna
upon
say.
them. The old leadership was forced out, and it became a new, sort of a renewed order.
So I take it that Big Boy Dragon was
A Thundershout.
Thundershout made it through the invasion. Really?
Zombie dragon. He was fat.
He was a zombie dragon?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he was he was past the gorge.
He
Went out to
was.
fight.
but I think we saw.
So I mean, look. Even when you guys encountered the Horde, you
Yeah.
dealt with those like the Night Stalker, like
Yeah.
flying creatures and
Yeah.
stuff. So, as much as it was this like World War Z kind of Horde trying to pile over the huge stone walls and get behind,
Yeah.
and as much as there was an entire order of clerics and a city's army trying to fend them off,
Yeah.
it was still. I mean,
It was just an
look.
ocean
One
of
side
zombies.
had an illithid hive, and
Or
an
was
elder
just summon
brain,
those things
and the
in there.
Nightwalker, and Thembershad did not survive. His corpse also is not in Grafstone.
Okay, so it's part of that Illithid army then?
Another one shot.
Oh, fucking Christ.
That's fine. No, it's already dead. We should,
We just have to kill it again.
We just have to remind it.
An ancient undead dragon. What's the
and
stat block
we
on that?
killed that.
And precisely
Easy.
0
Alone.
baby Zatuos sprouted from his head when it exploded open and killed him.
Seems
Brutal.
reasonable.
I go water it.
So, anything else?
Where are
You wanna
Topsy
know?
and Turvy? They
Like,
took off.
And what was their story?
Gone and lost.
Okay.
They were Zwerfneblin children who got infected with were-rat lycanthropy. And were too afraid to return to Blingdenstone, and they just
Can't imagine.
lived
why.
out their days sort of as these like feral children were-rats in the wilds of the Underdark.
Got it.
Poor guys.
Jim Jar's still chilling in Blingdenstone.
Did he steal his girl back? Probably not.
Unclear.
Okay, that's fair.
That's another one shot.
Everything's a one shot.
Everything's a one shot. It's a
Um,
dating sim.
What about Uranus and his crew?
Oh man! All right,
That's
so
who he
Bragan
was.
the Earth is not a person,
Yeah.
and Jarlaxle
Yep.
Baenri,
I did.
brother of Quenthel and Gromf Baenri,
Holy
runs
smokes,
this
you know that.
neutral mercenary spy organization.
Yeah.
And when you encountered Uranus and Sarissa and that contingent, they were employed by the Mizram family to try and hunt you guys down because
Yep.
you had escaped, and that was a deep embarrassment to Lolth at that point, right? Like in the end, she got this pretty severe punishment for failing to defeat you all, and
Especially since we were the ones that put the demon lords back where they came from.
right.
Which is Wolf's plan. The whole
Yeah.
Yep. A big oof on that person.
So
Poof. Got
there was no. It wasn't personal for them.
Yep.
That was literally just a job that they had to do. They did not. Bragan the Earth did not seek revenge for
Stealing the sword.
the troops that you killed.
Well, I'm
the
sure the
soldiers that you
sword
killed.
was more valuable to them than the troops we killed.
Maybe. Jarlax was pretty rich.
I
He
mean,
may or may
he's
not have like
not-
lent somebody just like a cloak of invisibility at some point and still had 4 attuned magical items.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That doesn't really surprise me. He's kind of a beast.
Really good.
He is super cool.
Yeah. He's the only cool drow.
Best
really.
character block. In
Actually, the only cool drow.
It's hype. So sweet.
I mean, Drist is pretty solid.
Except for maybe Triss.
But Yeah, so that was the deal with Uranus and Sarissa and Brigand the Earth.
Interesting.
If you guys would have gone to Menzoberranzan either like without an escort or without such a single-minded purpose, there is a particular drow house that is mostly unoccupied but is currently occupied by Jarlaxle and Brigand the Earth, which is Drizd's former family's house.
Oh.
So in the very beginning of... What's the first book?
Oh, I don't remember what the name of it is, but... Yeah.
So the story of Drizzt in the books starts out with... it's the night he's born. And you're not supposed to have more than 2 boys. You're not supposed to. And he is the third. But one jealous brother to another, and suddenly there's an opening in the family. On that same night, House Do'Urden destroys House not Devere.
No, it's he takes on the mantle of a Devere, but he is another. There's one.
He pretends to be Alton Devere, but basically, the Do'Urden house in one fell swoop in one night. Because if anybody ever finds out you did this, it's not okay. But as long as it's like this poorly kept secret that Family B assassinated Family A, you can just move up in the power rankings.
No witnesses.
Yeah.
So they murked the 8th seat on the Council of Menzoberranzan. The same night Drizzt was born, and the same night one of the 2 Do'Urden sons was killed. So Drizzt got to live because of that. And that put the Do'Urdens on the council, but Drizzt, being the aberrant drow that he is, being just genuinely kind-hearted and not wanting to kill people wantonly and do the whole drow Lolth worship thing, causes a lot of problems for his family.
Goes very poorly.
Yes. So the Do'Urden estate is currently not really occupied by Do'Urdens.
Interesting that that's the case.
And they're propped up by the Banries, because the Banries low key back to the move.
Yeah.
They're sort of they have Menzoberranzan on puppet strings, and it's really good. Very very few people know that Jarlaxle is a Banry.
I was gonna say,
and that's a huge part of why they're able to pull on these strings.
Yeah.
No, not even the male thing, but like he just doesn't normally go by the name, and like the people of Menzoberranzan don't know that that.
Brigand the Earth means like drow without a house. It's mostly males, and it is people that are exiled from their
Drizd's older brother, Dinan Do'Urden, is a member of Brigand the Earth, according to the books. I don't know what ends up happening to him. I just got so far as I know he joined at some point.
Gotcha.
So if you'd have run into Quenthel Banry, which was a possibility, basically if you got like kidnapped or caught in Menzoberranzan, you would have gotten taken to Jarlaxle or Quenthel. And Jarlaxle's tough, but Quenthel has a throne that can just cast disintegrate at will.
Oh my gosh.
That's really good.
That's the ultimate layer action, is just just eventually you're gonna be gone. She is a CR 20 like uber cleric, and and on her home turf she would have been about as challenging as a demon lord, if not more so.
I was gonna say, how's she gonna do against that? She might actually stand a chance at a 1v1 against the Demogorgon with at will in her lair.
Plus her
with at will disintegrates.
Her daughters of mega clericness as well.
Yes.
Who are like
they are other high priestesses.
Yeah.
If hypothetically, right, we get to the top side and we're like, man, that is someone else's problem. What happens? Does like the demon lords?
I mean, at that point, we would have moved on to another campaign or something.
Sure. Right. I'm just like, what is the eventual, like, the demon lords run amok forever? What is the nobody deals with this ultimate consequence of this?
going on.
Oof.
Like Zugton,
So I feel like eventually there would have been a showdown that would have been impressive. And I feel like ultimately, so the Demogorgon is incredibly powerful. But if sort of everybody gets left unchecked, I think what you're looking at is the largest undead army in the history of existence facing off against a hundreds of square mile hive mind living forest underground thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how that turns out, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Not
it's
good
not
for
good for
everybody else.
anyone.
Yeah.
Does the whole Underdark get does that showdown happen before the topside finds out about it?
It depends. So I know that I've said this before. It was a total just slip the very first time that I said the word Demogorgon in this campaign.
Yeah.
I assumed that when I put that first mini on the ground, that just from the cover of the book, that you guys would be like, "Oh shit," because this is the Demogorgon, and I didn't account for the fact that even Anson knows the Forgotten Realms. Even Anson didn't realize who it was because the old aspect of Demogorgon miniature looks like a weird, goofy, lanky chicken thing, not this giant, muscly, tentacle demon guy. And so I assumed that when the miniature went out, that you guys would just know that you would end up knowing because of that, and that ended up not being the case. And then at some point, when I moved it on one of its turns, I just said, "Oh yeah, the Demogorgon does blah blah blah," instead of the giant angry creature in the water does thing. And sort of spilled the beans there. And so when you guys got into the boat with Hemeth, I was like this dude's kind of a spy type gentleman. And I'm like, and that's when he's like, "That was a Demogorgon." And we ended the session there. So because of that jumping the gun a little bit, and then because of how I ended up handling Wickham and his connection to Asmodeus, and sort of him kind of spilling the beans on the fact that the Demon Lords were at large. I think basically I made you guys aware of the whole truth sooner than the book necessarily intended it.
Gotcha.
You didn't necessarily have to go to all the places underground, but obviously there was sort of a demonic threat at each of them. I'm trying to think of what else. The only thing that might have made that showdown not happen between Orcus and Zugtamoy would be eventually Baphomet would have found the maze engine, also known as an Orderer, which is a giant mechanical magical construct that was created millennia ago by Modrons, which are the little robot people of various shapes, and they call it an Orderer, and it literally is supposed to
It's reality.
it can literally alter reality, and maybe Baphomet tries to make things a reality where he's the only Demogorgon, the only demon lord on the material plane.
Good call on us making
If you guys would have gone to it, there's a huge table of things you roll on, and one of the things that can happen is this giant not explosion that's just hundreds of square miles circle detonation that banishes any demon within its radius.
Oh.
So you could have gotten rid of Yunogu and Baphomet that way.
Huh. But that would have made this fight way less fun for us.
Exactly.
Also,
There's another
getting Demon Lord blood becomes substantially more difficult for us too.
One chapter that we didn't really do is the Fetid Wedding, which there potentially could have been a point in time where you get a very alarmed message in your head from Sovereign Basidia, who has the one leading Stool's little group, who has become aware of this threat to Oromikos, and basically you would have shown up and done some you would have had to basically do this spore version of astral projecting, and then defeated Zugtamoy in Oromikos's mind, I guess, and to stop her there, and then after you beat her there, Juiblex catches up, and it's like you guys and Zugtaboy and Juiblex, and I guess we'll see how this turns out, kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And if you totally ran away, the book says that eventually Juiblex would win that 1v1. She doesn't really have a good way to stop it from keep coming, right? And she just keeps sending more stuff to consume, and
Fire would okay.
Yeah. Orcus went by Ilsen Corian's colony. Ilsen Corian is the lone survivor, totally cut off from his hive.
Oh, he made it?
He was the Ulitharid.
Yep.
And yes, so
drugged.
Orcus like TP's in out of nowhere and reanimates Sirog. And Sirog's just like, yeah, no, this is still mine. And Ilsen Corian's like, see ya. And then all of the Illithids sort of voluntarily become undead Illithids. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, so Druck's still out there. He's mine.
Got him.
Was Vizarin up to anything nefarious?
He wanted to basically have Menzo Baronzon get totally destroyed by the Demon Lord Brawl.
Anything else though?
Was he trying to kill us?
Was he gonna trip?
Not specifically.
Would he?
He wouldn't have cared if you had died, but he wasn't specifically trying to off you guys. He had no real agenda
just trying
against
to
you.
Sort of like
You were a means to this
become the
kind of
patriarchy, but he didn't have it. He wasn't like, then once I am in charge of Menzo Baronzon, I can
dispose of.
Do something else.
He didn't really care. He just
he's just
means
that's the end game.
That's fine.
One city,
I can't blame for that.
big
Really.
plans, whatever.
How angry is he that we did not burn the city down?
He is quite upset.
Okay.
Is he coming after us?
Maybe.
One shot. I mean, we make it through all this. We already established that. We all
But
died.
we also said though that we definitely would have told Vizarin
It's
that
his intern's fault.
his guy threatened to cancel the ritual if we put the amulet
Big
in
time with
Menzo
glibness.
Baronzon. Yeah.
Yep.
Fair. Very fair.
So whatever that would have been worth, we would have done that. Oh, there's something else. Somebody think of something while I try and
I'm
remember.
looking through. I don't
The first guy that let us out of the prison at the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Why did he let us out? And what was the source of those demons that came flying in?
He's trying to get some.
The opposite.
Scorned ex-lover.
Yep.
Drow are very fickle in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was wounded in a fight, sort of lost
Favor.
lost the appeal. And so then Shore became her new consort.
Yep.
And
Why not?
he let you guys out because he's just like, fuck these people, man. And the demons that showed up was like if you had a random encounter with demons in the Underdark.
I guess it was just lucky timing.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I forget what the scenario was, but there was a scenario where, like when we're that like session 1, we're like chained up and someone squishes a spider.
Oh, yeah.
I think one
The
of us
orc.
almost did it.
Probably.
There's something where like I think
They're demanding one of us admit to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
and like one of us all like
Almost said.
almost
yeah, it was
said
me.
yes.
I know I did.
If we had said yes, do we roll a new character that next session?
Because that guy died. Yeah, flame
The
strike.
orc. Yeah, the orc got obliterated.
We were level 1, he got flame striked.
Right now, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what my plan or intention was at that point. It was very entirely possible that you all potentially die in that first session. Not, probably not all of you, but some of you.
We just play topsy turvy.
So you're You're starting a new campaign of this one again tomorrow. And they're in that exact same position. One of them squishes the spider and says, "I did it." Do you kill him or no?
I don't know.
It's totally fair.
I don't know. I might like. There's so many things that I might change on a redo with perfect hindsight and 4 years of DMing experience now.
Yeah.
No, but I'm curious about like with that hindsight, like if you were to run this, because I think I know what I would do in that situation, but it depends on the players. But like
I might have like had you guys like kind of brutally beaten. She's got that tentacle rod that's kind of like a whip with some super mean suction cups and shit, and I might have like had your character grotesquely tortured.
Sure.
I'd say torture seems up there too.
Yeah.
That's rather up.
I think the reason I almost said
line.
yes was because the guy who said he was going to let us out was standing with her outside the cage. I'm like, oh, this is part of his plan. He wants us to say yes so that we get out of the cage, and then he has something planned.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think.
These all sound like phenomenal ideas that I didn't have 4 years ago.
Well, it turns out we also have 4 more years of D&D experience now.
Yes, indeed.
Even now, I will be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially. Yeah.
Did Zareth have any interesting storyline associated with him?
Sarith was spored like Zatuo was.
I mean, like already when we had
the
met
moment
him?
you met him, he was already spored.
Which one was the wreath?
The drow.
Oh, the drow.
So there's quite a bit of. So that's kind of cool. Like
if his head didn't, if we didn't get to if he was still with you and Zatu, when Zatuo's head exploded, Sarith also would have had a similar.
Every character, almost every character had like a
something
like a plot line to hook in later.
Yeah. Was there any way to cure that,
or was Zatuo done?
That one, I think you can cure that with like a greater restoration or something.
How did Zatuo get infected? Like just
he went into the room.
He got spored after the shrooms left, and then there was a moment where I should have just like done the thing, because also the point was me writing Zatuo out of the campaign because Ansem had gone. And I basically was like, oh yeah, no, it looks like Zatuo is going to follow these guys, and I let you guys stop him and wrestle him out of doing it. And I should have just been like, yeah, and before you even like know what's going on, Zatuo just like zips over there and steps in the mushrooms and just disappears too. But so
you let
an instance where I gave you guys a little too much agency because I was
well, now he has to die.
Right. He was gonna got rid of one way or another, but
get got.
If he had disappeared, I probably still would have had him reappear in Neverlight Grove. If you guys would have done stuff there. You would have like found him like
like the other person,
where you find like people kind of like.
Well, we found that one drow chick that was in the ground, like that.
Probably fresher than that though.
Yeah. So on that note, those drow at that outpost, there was like that blood altar to summon something. What happens if we accurately like perform that blood ritual to summon some demon?
So the ritual they did there was so you guys did find this like doorway sort of thing.
There's a portal.
And on the other side of that portal is a glabritsu that is stuck in a little demiplane. And do you know how you make dragloths?
I do.
You have a drow priestess mate with a glabritsu.
Yep.
And they birth this drow demon hybrid monstrosity, which you fought 2 of at the outpost.
Extra gross.
Yep, nasty. Drow are just nasty.
Yeah.
Big time.
Sure,
in like
summon them
in a lot of ways.
Yep.
There's a question here that says some info on that ASMR from Gracklestug, and I feel like that's the...
That was Vengeance.
We already
the
did
Asmer.
that.
Oh!
Yeah.
Which one have taken him?
I see.
Already it went over.
Flint's place.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, what is going on?
ASMR. That was the joke.
I got it.
I heard something about Flint, and I was just like confused. That's all.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Let's see.
Anything else?
I'll think of more next week. Like, I'll be sitting there and be like,
Oh, yeah.
what about this?
That's fair. Well, we don't have to. Obviously, don't have to hit everything tonight. I just figured we'd get most of the big stuff out of the way.
Were there any points in the campaign that you can remember where we were like, we immediately got attached to an idea or interpretation of a situation, and you were like, that's not even close? Anything that stands out?
What was your biggest
I want to help you.
I need to step in as the DM moment?
The biggest I need to step in as the DM moment was when we put a bag of holding inside of a portable, or vice versa. And I'm glad that even though I didn't we walked it back some, but it still took a successful roll of the dice to stop that situation from happening. Because if you guys had rolled that, we were going on an Astral Sea adventure.
Oh.
Well, 3 of you were. He would have been pretty bored. I probably would have had you make a Gith pirate to meet up with them and get them the fuck out for a while, and then Although if your companions just disappear, you probably just leave by yourself or something too. So that could have been real.
I do think that's what this campaign needed, was just more time
sidetrack
of us, especially right after Gracklestug.
Yeah.
Everything was just moving
more
so quickly.
filler.
We'll come back.
Actually,
if we're on the Astral Sea, can we find the Astral Beach?
What happens if we don't give Thembershad the baby dragon egg?
Ooh.
Can we have a baby dragon?
I know, that's what I'm wondering. What if we get that out of the city?
The point of it was the Keepers of the Flame were basically holding out on him.
Yeah.
And Thembershad was becoming a little too obese, demanding, too big for his britches. They were going to fucking kill him and replace it with a baby version that is a much more controllable.
Yeah. But if we get the egg out...
So if we give him the egg back, I'm guessing the timeline probably ends up being he dies during the invasion, and then there's a baby that will replace him.
So there's not actually an invasion in the book.
Oh, you said that?
Yep.
Oh,
so something...
It totally makes sense that would happen, though.
There's a board game or a game or something that... so this segment when they were releasing all the D&D stuff was called the Rage of Demons thing. And part of something with Drizzt... It's probably when the book hits this part of the Forgotten Realms timeline that... Because I assume that Drizzt deals with the Sirog colony Orcus issue himself. Because they don't really go into it. There's one little tidbit that they touch on, but I'm just that sounds so fucking cool. Undead Elderbrain under Orcus's control with an army of undead Illithids. I'm holy shit, yes. Yeah. And so I decided to make that a more prominent portion. And actually, I don't remember. It was one of the possible visions, but maybe you just didn't ask the right question to get it. But one of the visions you could have gotten was in the aftermath of you guys had left the hive mind, and a lot of the Illithids and Ilson-Corian are in the room with the slain Elderbrain, and they're sort of lamenting his death, but Ilson-Corian's trying to assert his control over the colony, but then Orcus would have teleported in then and reanimated Sirog, and then you could have seen the beginning of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so when you're crusade against the Illithids, I'm interesting.
It's still gonna happen.
Crusade is a more appropriate term now that we know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Is there anything else we should ask about?
Anything you're dying to get off your chest?
I'm trying to think back. I can't think of anything in particular.
Are there any secrets or whether that be treasure or or actual secrets or
You said there was a deck of many things.
Yep.
It's just somewhere in the world. I don't know. It wasn't a specific place that I really had in mind.
Sky giant palace floating around.
But was there something that we almost hit upon, but then went a different direction or failed to check to notice it?
Where's that mini?
How many invisible chests did I miss?
The Skitterer. The boss that we have literally went in a different direction.
Well, I wasn't even there for that.
Is there any lore that anyone had prepped on their character that we didn't hear?
Oh,
We just never got to.
That's a great question.
There is a small detail.
Yormik did not go to rock school.
It specifically says
The
that.
whole
on the
time, I
sheet.
never even rolled insight.
You guys could have done it. I rolled deception every time. Many times. You guys could have found out.
Did you actually?
The only small detail from Vera is, I think, that the schematic for her necklace was started by her master, but he passed away while he was working on it, and she took it and claimed it as her own. And started where he had left off, but didn't want to give me the credit.
Clever girl.
So but she didn't want to know that because she wanted people to think she was a inventor in her own right, but she had her own self-doubts about how good of an inventor she was, and she thought that, am I only able to do these things because this master, my master, is here? Without him, would I be worthless?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And she's trying to prove herself and also steal it and make money.
Yeah.
Something. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say something you may not have known about Tyr. He was lawful good.
It's wild. Biggest secret. Of the whole campaign.
That was so funny just because the sheer amount of realization between the character that you thought you wanted to play in this demon-centric D&D campaign and the character you actually wanted to play.
Yeah.
And there's still definitely a delta between Yormik and the character that we maybe should have gotten you to, but again, 3 years of learning experience.
I get it now. I did not get it at either of the first times.
It's gonna be very, very interesting working with you guys on Antera characters.
Yes.
I'm very excited for what this learning experience is going to mean for that. Also, you guys getting to step into a world that isn't great day one. That was the other weird thing that like you didn't have time to bard. You guys weren't just in cities and ever actually getting to relax. You shouldn't necessarily have been needing to feel like you had to hurry through Blingdenstone or Gracklestug, aside from the fact that we want to go home, but there's not this omnipresent world threat at large.
Yeah.
It kind of changes the tone a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I shouldn't have spilled the beans on the Demon Lords as early as it did, but I was excited because this whole campaign is demons everywhere.
I kind of liked it because it pushed us through. You saw what we spent a lot of time in Gracklestug, and if that would have happened in Blingdenstone and Neverlight Grove,
I tried to run Gracklestug by the book.
Yeah.
Turns out there's not a lot there. Things are kind of disparate, and it feels a little weird. And so there should have been a fair number of changes, and honestly, the whole Narak cult situation was never interesting to me. I should have, at the time, I don't know if it had occurred to me, because I think I might have stolen this from
cult?
the guy you killed underground.
Who thought he was serving the drug god?
Oh, yeah.
It was a cult to the Demogorgon. That's why some stuff had two heads. And I think that I think in the book, so there is a succubus who is influencing the Deep King, but they don't go into any details at all regarding Grast and his involvement with that. So I made that a little more prominent, and that city should have just felt like, I don't know, like maybe somehow you fall upon that, but it just took you in every other direction except towards the Deep King. Even the little bit at the end where it talks about, there's no detail. I wouldn't have known what to do with the Deep King if I had let the characters there grant you an audience with him. I'm I don't know what the hell that's gonna be like or what purpose it serves.
Probably a part of what steers away from him is that every time you heard about it, it was all vague and we didn't have anything actionable.
Yep.
Right.
It's also I'm the only person there that's actually allowed to go.
Right.
So we're also not supposed to be there.
Right.
Yep. And I didn't. That was still at the point where I was really afraid, because that was chapter 4. There's 17 chapters in this book, and I was really afraid to do something that I couldn't undo without it feeling awkward or me having to work around something else.
I did the same thing in Jade Region.
That we nuked the dragon.
And no one died.
So I feel like Gracklestug was probably your biggest
no one important died.
But
usually
if you would go back, you would have done this very differently. What's
a tank dies?
What I want to know what everyone else is big, except for initial character. What was your biggest thing you learned.
Did you have a decision that you regret?
No, I'm looking
Or-
for like biggest thing you learned.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That you would just like
As a character?
do different as a D&D player.
Or as a player?
Oh, so many things.
I want more reactions.
I don't know.
It'd be a handy trick to learn.
I feel like some of this will will like be a discussion for like session 0 of Antera.
I'd have to think about that. I know, like, after playing Nero, what I want from like a next character, but the character was very fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, there wasn't as many, at least like with like regard to combat, like positioning was more of what there was to it for him than it was like what spells do I take, etc. So like it was, I just enjoyed that character for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But like it made me know of like things that I was like interested in seeing from like a like more diverse character. Is the best way to describe it, and not even from like the class perspective, because like Paladin, that's a blast to play that class for sure. Like I would totally play that again, but like from the what I want out of a character, there's more that I could expand on.
I talked with Kevin at length about like sorcerer stuff at different points, because the class to me is a whole other thing. But I would say my biggest thing, and I did the exact same thing with Tyr, and I did not. I had 2 weeks into Tyr, 4 weeks into Tyr, and then made Yormik. Yeah. I was super frustrated with, and it's totally like my own thing of like I put zero actual time into like there was no real motivation for Yormik to do a whole lot of stuff. It's just like you're kind of alone in the city, your whole family's dead, and you're part of an organization that if people find out about it, you will die. And like that was the whole thing. That's the entire character. And so like you having like the arc of like your father is like alive, like you having like your like you guys all had like arcs and like big like sweeping things that inform the character, whereas like, and I think it came out through the character, like I had no clue like why I would do anything I was doing.
Yeah.
And so like it's just
It turned itself into a meme.
Right. It figured it out. Like I figured it out at the end, and like at the end it was like the last 3 or 4 or 5 levels were super fun to play, but it's just like I know stuff about the city, but I also don't, and like I'm not a member of the society, but I am, and like
you
like
so
you were,
so
like,
making
searching
you
for an identity.
the whole and I think that became the identity of the character, which is great, and I really really like that part of it. But there was like the middle part, and this is just like a lesson that I like learned also like DMing is like just. It doesn't have to be like pages and pages of backstory, but like
have a course,
something. And like I just had the fact that there wasn't one became one, and it's super fun, right? Like this is an absolute blast. But like that
hindsight's
was like
2020, and
like
especially with a long campaign.
Yes,
because
it was really
so satisfying when Vera completes her amulet, when Bryn meets his dad, when Nero like kind of like is able to like reconcile with Salune.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with the like Nero RP and like the progression, because like I thought Kevin did really good with like the backstory. I felt like was very fitting, and then like it was really cool that it hooked into the like corruption like based off of the like vengeance like aspect to it. It was like that was a really cool like progression with that as well. So I had like that was so fun RPing and like playing the character as a whole.
I like that you had that you like were like falling in with the other power.
Yeah.
And then like got brought back.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was
it was super
like
cool.
It could have gone the other way and it would have been cool, but this was just like a really nice arc to see.
Yeah, it's more of what I liked from the character as well. I think I would have had fun both ways of it, but like I liked where the character went with that. And then also I think it really helped, and I think that like I especially like the idea of it for like potentially in Antera as well, like having the sort of like hook between like without even knowing it was nice.
That was
the hook between
hilarious serendipity,
amazing,
and so just ridiculous,
so
the best
and
luck of the campaign.
And the two of you made it to the end.
Yeah, they're the ones.
And like the way it ended, even.
Yep.
Like,
fantastic.
Yep.
Well, what's great too is they went from like butting heads all the time to like the like power combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
the power couple.
The fact that I like for the first 2 sessions I just didn't give you inspiration.
If not more than that. It
could
have been
it was longer than that.
It was probably like a fight that actually like felt solidly dire before you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Fine, this time,
sure. It might have even been like either Alkalith or I think Black Dress. I feel like Ander never gave him inspiration.
I think Ander did.
He started like
he did it begrudgingly.
I still
tolerated you up to that
like,
point.
Maybe you better hit this or we're all dead.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Like that's what I'm thinking. I don't think it wasn't until Gracklestug, I don't think.
Really?
No, in the maze fight you would have done it. The like fire maze.
Yeah.
When we were being chased by the drow, you would have done it in there.
That was a fun fight for Wickham.
That was a cool.
That was cool
fight. That fight was definitely cool.
Did you enjoy like the ceiling? Like going back, if we could change how Wickham was like associated with the campaign, would you want to play a warlock for 17 levels or a wizard for 16 or 17 levels?
I think Vera was definitely stronger from a combat perspective. I did enjoy playing Wickham. Me and Kevin talk about this a lot, but the main reason that we phased him out is because it didn't make sense for him to be doddeling
for sure
around when there.
At that point in time, the rest of the group was trying to leave the Underdark, not deal with the Demon Lords.
Right. And felt like Wickham was on a short leash, and that if he didn't do what his patron wanted him, it wasn't going to go well for him. Yeah. And his priority was to his family and to staying alive for them,
100%.
Less so even for himself. Which isn't to say that he wouldn't have tried to fight the Demon Lords to save his family in the long run. But I liked playing him. I would have kept playing him if things had worked out differently.
I think
Vera was so cool.
I think you would have gotten bored with the Warlock.
I mean,
Vera was so much cool.
You would have gotten
would have been the move for sure.
Yeah,
that probably would have happened.
He definitely is more interesting. Or Vera is definitely
the party would have been so different.
Oh yeah, that
if it would have been Hexblade, Paladin, Sorcerer, and then me as support.
You would have done gone no damage.
Yeah, I would have.
It would have been way different.
I would have had a lot of healing.
I think you would have just gotten. We would have hit a point where you would have gotten frustrated with the Warlock spell slot situation.
Probably. I was worried about that, but eventually
it's the one thing that scares me about playing. Like that's why, like if I would do, I would have to do a Hexblade so that it's like the casting is the add-on, not like the main feature set.
Or just have a flexible enough DM where you can be like, hey, I'm playing this and I hate. Like, can we do anything so that I feel like I can contribute after the first 2 rounds of combat?
Yeah.
Because like. And I would have leaned on Kevin to give us short rest opportunities.
Yeah. I could have taken catnap.
Yeah, because
there you go.
I got my spell slots back, and then they're all my maximum level spell. Like they're all like 5th level spells.
I did.
I
in the back of my mind, this whole campaign, I sort of kept track of times where like I wish we had catnap, and it was like maybe twice. Like it's not common that we have 15 minutes where we don't have an hour.
Or much less like 8 hours.
Right.
Well, the nice aspect about it, in particular, for like big fights, it would have been good, especially for Vera to use her arcane recovery, because you like did not have any opportunities to use that.
It's pretty rare, but also I can only recover maximum 5th level spells.
I know, but like you could still do stuff with that.
I think one thing I'm super looking forward to in Antera, and like I got to experience this a little bit as you were making Gracklestug, but like being in cities where we're supposed to be there, like that's exciting. And it's just literally the setting in this campaign is you guys are trapped here trying to leave,
right?
Yeah,
and that's awesome for other reasons, but like that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I mean, it's only. It could have been so easy for this campaign to like not end up touching much of any of your actual backgrounds and stuff.
Yep.
Zatuo had this kind of intense backstory about this monastery that he left and almost died trying to escape before he got captured and enslaved off by gnolls.
Yeah.
And we never sniffed a hint of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's having the book to rely on is cool to an extent, but it's also a handcuff.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for Antera to be
Whatever.
fully by you guys and your actions and motivations, and I
will say, great job on finding the ways to get the
avenues to do
story.
that.
It is unbelievable.
The backstory into the campaign. It was great.
So
Especially
one
the
of my
thing
favorite
is-
moments of this was blowing your mind when me and you were having the
It was
one-on-one
so
Slack session.
good.
Which one? Wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
When he was dead, and so
Okay, what happened there?
there's an ordeal. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was undergoing his ordeal, and at some point he got some FaceTime with the Raven Queen.
Yeah. So when I died, I fought an animated suit of armor, and this was back when Bryn didn't have much damage at all, and I was panicking, and then I realized I have heat metal and it's a suit of armor, and so
he heat metaled it, and then he ran while he melted it, basically
Nice.
trying to evacuate from getting
Phenomenal.
hit. She kept moving and dodging and melting it until it was just a pile of slag.
Amazing.
So then I met with the Raven Queen, and I was like, I forget how I asked it, but I was like, I think you led me to it. It has to be gone. Or did you save
I'm
it?
pretty sure that it's a document somewhere.
I remember I was we were having this at work in the office, and I froze. I was just actually a little bit emotional when I saw it, and I was just
That he was still alive.
You want me to read it to you guys?
Yeah.
Also, it was at your house, actually. I think we were already back at your house when you died.
They did it.
No,
separately, though.
we did.
No, I'm talking about when Ander died. It was we were at doing campaign sessions at your house.
Yeah, but this was we were doing
At
this
work.
discussion. Yeah, on Slack at work,
Mm.
and so I was just in the office when he did this, and I remember I was sitting at my desk, just in this weirdly emotional state for the fact that I found out something new about a make-believe character.
Uh-huh.
I've had those moments. When I played Shazak with Zach's campaign, there were a few times where I was doing all this RP behind the scenes to form my cult organization.
Oh, that was so
a
cool.
lot of that was at work. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I have it. It's 6 pages long.
Oh, jeez.
But that's every message spread out, and I
Was
think
that
I
with
even
the
copied
combat?
the dice rolls in here.
Okay,
too,
yeah.
so-
If you skip the combat,
/ roll.
Yeah. No, it's actually only gonna be 2 pages. DM. You awaken to darkness. A complete, all-consuming void surrounds you. You are suspended in this void, neither falling nor flying, unable to move yourself. You remain like this for what feels like minutes, hours, days. Time loses definition as you remain there, suspended. Ander. When I first wake up, I call out, "Hello? Hello?" After waiting and realizing no one is around, I start rambling, singing songs, telling stories, but after some time, after the several hours go by and I realize there's no one around and it's just all pointless, I go quiet for what feels like an eternity. DM. You see a faint bead of white light pierce through the darkness. The light seems to crackle and expand, eventually taking the form of a porcelain white face. The face has empty, dark sockets and long, flowing black hair that fades into the darkness of the surrounding void. Suddenly, you find yourself no longer suspended and are instead held aloft by the hand of the figure in front of you. The figure leans in close to you, and though its lips aren't moving, you hear a comforting voice in your mind, seemingly coming from all around you. "Tell me, my child, why have you come here? He rolled to see if he recognized it. Told him he had heard of the Raven Queen, the goddess of death and fate, and she's responsible for shepherding souls through the transition. And he said, I stared blankly at her for a time, incredulous. I thought this emptiness was what death was. It's really all I was expecting given my aversion to religion. After a few minutes of me realizing I'm not hallucinating, I speak.
Lenny, leave it out for a second.
I didn't intend to come here.
No.
The last thing I remember is holding a health potion in my hand, but my friends were being attacked, and I needed to stop the thing that was hurting them. It was a dragon. All I wanted was for Anders Stormwind to live forever in a story. I wanted my dad to be remembered. A long pause as I look in the distance, that's what he said. And then he said, I wanted to be remembered. And then me again. Most who arrive here do not intend to, but fate tends to have its way nonetheless. You say you seek immortality in the hearts and minds of others. So tell me, what does gaining such notoriety accomplish? My father always told me a man's name is his most important possession, but he died without anyone knowing who he was. If all we have is our short time, what more could one hope for than to live beyond his years in any way he might? Mind your thoughts, Bryn. Remembrance is one thing, but to truly live beyond one's years would be an affront to the natural order, and one that I will not abide. All things must find their end eventually. However, you speak of your father, the true Anders Stormwind. You say no one knows who he was. Do you not remember him fondly as your father? Do you not honor your memory of him? Of course, but he deserved so much more than that. He was incredible, doing what he loved and making some of the finest metalworking. He provided for my mother and myself, and then not even my own mother remembers him. He deserved the legacy of a hero. A fine smith and father he may have been, but the legacy of a hero? What deeds did he do to deserve such a legacy? And you say your mother does not remember him. Perhaps she aimed to forget. He was noble. He took care of my mother and myself. He was stable through struggle and storm. When his country needed him, he went to protect not only me and my mother, but his countrymen as well. Who would forget one such as that? And then he started crying. I should have been there for her the way he was. I just couldn't stand to see her finding someone to replace him. It is not the duty of a child to take care of a parent, Bryn. I see your heart, and I see the truth of your caring for her and your resentment just the same. But you speak of your father having died. Why is this? I got ellipsis, and then in parentheses, you've successfully rendered Anders Stormwind speechless. And then, quote, because he died in the war? My child, every soul to pass on from your realm finds its way to me before moving on. I assure you, you are the first Anders Stormwind to make this journey for nearly a millennium. And he says, I look utterly stunned. My father hasn't passed through, but they said he died in the war. I begin looking around nervously. He must be trapped. His soul or his body. Can you see him? Please, where is he? What has become of him? Your father is not here. There are two possible explanations for why that is. Either his soul has somehow been trapped on the material plane, or he is still alive. Then I need to go back and save him. Do you know where he is? How can I go back? Were it so easy. Do you not think people would return to your world all the time? And then, as she says this, her hand reaches up and grasps for something. And after a moment, you see that she has in her hand a faint thread that you quickly realize is protruding from your chest and continues out past your vision into the void. She examines it for a moment before speaking again. Your fate is unclear. It would seem that your companions aim to see you returned, but the return journey is not a simple one. Anders says, I thought I didn't know this, and he gestured from him to her. It happened to everyone. I didn't know This was the end. How do I go on this journey? Oh, my sweet child, this is not the end. This is merely the transition. I will escort you to where you need to be, but the journey home is up to you and... She pauses briefly. Ah, yes. Of course it would be him. Bear in mind, he values survival and self-reliance above all. And then he had to go through an ordeal of Ladagur, who is the deity of the cleric who performed the resurrection ritual.
Very sweet.
It would be. That's funny. That's really well done.
Yeah.
So sick.
Good job by both of you.
That's why, like, after it was great because like that felt like such a character flip moment, and so coming out of it when Bryn was just like really somber for a bit, like that was what he'd just gone through.
That was good.
Oh, that was like more intense
So
than I remembered it
Yeah.
even being
That's
too. Just rereading
intense.
that. Yeah. So that was, Bryn's time before his ordeal.
That's amazing.
And any last questions before we call it a wrap?
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was good. It was good.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
Upload a picture. Just
Thanks for sticking with it for 4 years
pictures
and
of
in a pandemic and
Hopefully, one more.
Yeah.
some
pandemic. What's wrong with you?
Oh,
some teachable, learnable moments, and excited to do it again in Antera.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
January.
Still no new character making. All right.
Tentatively January.
January.
Probably January.
Mark it.
Are we? Do you know when Tomb of Horrors is starting?
Next week's off.
He can't make it, so yeah. We'll go 2 weeks from now. We'll try and start something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomb of Horrors should be good for 2 weeks from
That's
now. Then.
all named human fighters.
And I will.
Yes.
I will figure out how we're doing characters.
Multiple.
Probably.
We'll just be a whole caravan of many people
So
who
you
go
will
one at a
have
time.
multiple The
Brad.
4 of you will have multiple characters.
There we
You
go.
will not be playing one character. You will not be playing everybody's John through the Tomb of Horrors.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking with it for 84-ish sessions, and
160.
we'll be back with
160
Tomb of
days.
Horrors and possibly wrapping up Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and then
Shit.
new year, new campaign. We'll see you in Antera. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Bye.